Am I the a-hole for not wanting to leave a chair free in honor of my late wife at my wedding?
Ooh.
Kind of cute, right?
I don't know.
Late wife.
At your new wife's wedding?
This is late wife, though. We'll get into it. This is to answer the question, when should you move on from a relationship? Comes from No Silver 6855, who says, my first wife passed away 12 years ago, and I was really young at the time. I did my best to get over the loss of her and move on. I loved her in the past, but it's my past now, and I need to live in the present for myself. I found another love. Hooray! Yeah. I met my girlfriend 7 years ago. I love her, and she's always respected that I am a widower. I didn't really name my first wife except on occasions when I tell people an anecdote where she was there, and I don't have pictures of her or anything in my home. I don't have pictures of anyone, actually. Frames do not fit the decoration of my house. Does not fit my interior design. It does not work. I want to give my girlfriend the place she deserves. I've had many bad experiences in a grief help group and learned what not to do in a new relationship. Yeah, I could see that being intimidating.
I just think I think there is a time, and I think that wanting to keep an element of your previous relationship, especially, it's not an ex, this is a late wife.
Exactly. You were still in love, and that never changed.
Yeah, but I think there is a difference between, having pictures with them and spending time at like a grave or something like that, and having a seat at your wedding.
Yeah.
Because I think that you have a new wife now.
That same kind of task could be accomplished by a different means.
I think so, yeah.
It is just such a rock and a hard place situation to have your spouse pass away, and there was never any animosity. It was truly that they just passed away.
Absolutely.
And
but I just think there's different ways that don't
encroach upon
the new relationship. Because this, I feel like it is.
This isn't the same, but I got this from one of the commenters. Would you have your ex-wife show up to your new wedding?
That's not the same.
That is not the same.
Honestly, I think that's an irrelevant argument because you split versus the person that passed away. There was never a split.
I think a situation where you found out that your, wife, you realized that you both weren't attracted to each other, and that your husband was gay, and then you invited him to the wedding. That is the scenario. That
is more where it wasn't actually anything relationship wise that caused it to end. Good job, Sophia, on finding it. She found it, ladies and gentlemen.
Situation.
Shout out to the gays. You know I rock with you.
It ain't Pride Month, but it's still Pride Month in our hearts.
Yeah. I'm going to get married in November, and at first I didn't know whether to invite my first wife's family.
Ooh,
that's another thing, because I didn't know if they would want to attend, so I never said anything to them or invited them to the wedding. I don't talk with them except for a few texts every few months, but her mother was the one who texted me to tell me she would be very happy to go. So I did end up inviting her and her husband. They kind of invited themselves, and I have problems with saying no much more in that kind of situation. I think later, I believe. So it wasn't actually like, hey, come on in. They kind of low key were just like, oh, we'll come.
Yeah.
Kind of what I'm reading it as. On the weekend, we were putting some things together, and my mother told me it would be good to put an extra chair. And my mother told me it would be good to put an extra chair in honor of my first wife. That was an idea of my late wife's mother, but she didn't talk about that with me first, but with my mother. We pay per seat. Each chair we put up is charged as if there were a person. They would even charge me for drink and food, as if someone was really present, and honestly, I am quite tight financially on the wedding. So I think it would be a waste of money in something symbolic, because if I do that for her, I also have to do that for all members of my family who passed away, because they would complain about it. Dude, what is up with these people? You have the mom and the mother-in-law that want the chair there. The rest of the family would be like, well, why didn't Uncle Bobby get a chair? It's
Uncle Bobby died. He loved you. Where's his chair?
I wasn't married to freaking Uncle Bobby. Okay. Imagine you have a wedding full of empty chairs in honor of all the family members who passed away. Oh my God. My father and brother also passed away, so that would be even more money. I'm not a spiritual person either, so I don't believe in these things, and I don't like any kind of ritual or symbolic thing. So to be fair, at this point in the story, he is not pushing for it.
Yes.
He's
No,
not
he
pushing
doesn't
for
want it.
He doesn't want it.
I think that's the issue, is because other people in his life are like, you need to have a shrine for your late wife. He's like, no.
Have your own wedding with your own shrines. Okay.
Yeah.
I also don't want to have a moment to talk about deceased people and kill the atmosphere. But
Hey.
just want a nice and joyful wedding for my girlfriend.
It's been 12 years, and I think it's a little bit, especially because it's not even OP that wants this. Other people are putting this onto him and his wedding 12 years later.
This is not your wedding.
Not your wedding.
This is not your wedding.
And it's also not OP's wedding to his late wife.
True.
It's OP's wedding to a new wife.
So GTFO, all you ghosts, get out of here.
All you ghosts,
Okay.
you're not welcome.
Sit up, float away. Do it.
You heard him.
Just to make my mother shut up, I said that if someone offers to pay the money, I will ask for more chairs. There would be 7 relatives. Too many. I knew that somebody was going to pay for that.
Oh my God, I'm just imagining them playing the Les Mis song, like empty chairs and empty tables.
Pretty good. Pretty good. They should hire you to sing it, honestly.
Yeah, empty chairs.
With
and
more wedding
empty
money they don't have.
tables.
Because I can't spend money on more things, but no one talked, and I thought that she would just forget that. But my mother said that then I should include photos of me and my first wife when they show the typical video
What?
of the bride and groom as they grow up.
This is
Imagine not
bonkers.
knowing that this guy has a dead wife and then seeing like him with another person.
Right,
I'm
sure
so
no.
confused.
I object.
This is
Oh my
crazy. This is too much.
This is
too
way
much.
too much.
Too much.
Opie says, I just don't want to do that.
Yeah.
I even find it disrespectful for my girlfriend to put pictures of my first wife when I'm getting married again, let alone make a whole video about those times.
Yeah.
It's just weird to me, but I know that there are widowers who have done it, so it does leave me confused. My first wife appears in some of the photos I chose to go through in the video, not the one my mother wants me to do, in photos where I'm traveling with friends or family. It's not that I'm hiding her identity or anything like that, but I just want that moment to be my wife and mine. I already healed.
That's the thing.
Also
Love Bubble
important.
says, what? This is a wedding or a memorial? They can totally have another ceremony where they like celebrate her. And they probably already had that ceremony. This is a different celebration.
Sophia, this is not a wedding. This is a funeral.
The funeral.
This is a 7X
It is a black
funeral.
tie event.
Everyone's already dressing the part, Sophia.
Everyone's already, yeah.
We already have the catering.
Yeah.
We already have a bunch of space. We already have ground we can dig up.
This is actually, it's not a wedding. It is a reenactment of the first wedding.
Mm.
And they've hired an actor to play the wife.
Oh my gosh. This is just getting so ridiculous. I love these hypotheticals though. They
Yeah.
feed my soul.
Honestly, a little shout out would be okay.
He's like,
Yeah.
shout out to my wife.
Hey yo, pew, 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 pew. Yeah, shout out one time for the one time my ex-dead wife. My mother has been doing everything to make me feel guilty. And honestly, it's hard not to feel guilty when the words come from a person who went through the same thing as me. I know my girlfriend would agree because she's really kind, and she already said that she is not really interested in what others think because she is the one who will be my wife. I'm the one who feels uncomfortable, so am I the a-hole? Yeah, really interesting. The wife is like, hey, I'd be fine with it if that's what you want, but he's like, no, I don't want it. I'm the one that doesn't
Yeah,
want
he's
it.
like, no, you don't understand. Everyone keeps telling me to have this. No.
Everyone wants all of their relatives' funeral
Yeah.
here.
Also, Olivia Grace, isn't the movie called 4 Weddings and a Funeral?
We should name it 7 funerals
Hugh
and 1
Grant?
wedding.
I hate that movie, 4 Weddings and a Funeral.
Never seen it.
Why?
It's basically about this couple cheating with each other over the course of 4 weddings and a funeral.
Of course, more cheating in rom-coms.
Yeah.
I'm not here for it, but I digress. I want that moment, the wedding, to be my girlfriend and mine. I already had that moment with my first wife years ago. Now I want to have this moment with her. Is that such a bad thing? And quick edit, please stop recommending me to make a table of photos of the dead, make a speech, put centerpieces, etc. I don't want any of, yeah. They're like, hey, instead of the chairs,
Yeah, he's like, no, I don't want to, no.
we could do a centerpiece with their
Yeah.
faces, like a poster of their face stuck on it. We could do
Yeah.
bobbleheads.
I just don't understand. Like, I on the one hand, if a person wants to do that and wants to celebrate, you know, their late partner, that's one thing.
That's one thing.
He doesn't want to do that. And it doesn't make sense why you would have to. It's been 12 years.
He literally said he's moved on, and his want is to spend and celebrate this moment with his new wife the same way he did with his late wife.
Yeah.
The same thing. The late wife's mom really
Yeah, I think
get
it's
to
the
her.
late wife's mom who's kind of pushing this
pulling the strings.
train down the tracks.
So what do we do here?
We go to our moms
Hmm.
and we
Hey, Mom.
say, "Hey, Mom, I don't want to do that.
No.
I want to get married to my wife, and that's final."
Sweet, simple, to the point.
To the point.
Yes. We have
An update.
6 days later. By the way, current judgment, not the a-hole.
Yeah.
Current judgment, not the a-hole. Agreed.
Agreed.
First of all, I want to clarify that in Spanish, novia means girlfriend and bride.
Oh,
The
wow.
word fiancé is not really used in my country because it sounds too respectful.
We don't want to respect our wives too much.
Disrespectfully.
Yeah.
Yes. I talked to my girlfriend about the exact situation. Until now, she had always said that she doesn't care and supports me in whatever I decide. But when I told her that it makes me uncomfortable and what my mother said, she just got angry and told me, let's just talk to your mother. She has the balls that I don't. When my ex-mother-in-law found out about my engagement, she sent me a message saying, I'm really happy for you. Me and her husband's name would love to attend. Good so far? Good so far. I didn't know how to reject such a direct self-invitation, and my wife told me to invite them if I felt comfortable with that. At that moment, I had no problem since they had always been respectful people. That was a big mistake. Big mistake. I talked to my mother, and she showed me that my ex-mother-in-law started to send her random messages after I posted about getting married with my girl. My ex-mother-in-law sent messages like, today, I really miss my daughter. It's a shame that your son is forgetting her, since it would be a good idea to visit her grave, but he never wanted to.
Oh my God.
Or,
Oh my God.
my daughter would really have loved to attend the wedding.
What do you mean your daughter would have really loved to attend the wedding? No,
I
she wouldn't
think
have.
she would not have.
Why would she want to attend the wedding of her husband? That makes no sense.
The math ain't mathin', mama. She even sent audios to my mother saying a lot of other things. They had contact from time to time, so my mother didn't find that too weird. My mother felt pressured, and under her own beliefs, she also pressured me. She apologized to me and my wife and said what she said was out of line. So the mom was kind of pushed
into
by
it.
the
Bullied into it.
the late wife's mother. Yeah. Honestly, that triggered me. My mother has lost a son and now a husband. Oh, wow. So OP's dad passed away too.
They would all have seats at the wedding.
Add another 10, 20,
Keep
30.
it coming. Keep it coming.
I grew up seeing how people expected the same thing they expected of me from her. I got angry and talked to my ex-mother-in-law. It really bothered me that they tried to manipulate my mother, knowing what she suffered and how sensitive she is about the topic. Ex-father-in-law apologized. His wife did not. She says she finds it disrespectful that I don't do anything in honor of her daughter, and that I even stopped wearing my wedding ring when she passed away.
He's not married to her forever. Everyone grieves differently.
What do you...
Is he just supposed to stay alone forever?
Yeah, why not?
You're right.
Sophia, why should he find happiness and a
No.
new partner for
He
life?
only gets that once.
Yeah,
You get one opportunity.
he got his one and done. The
I don't
end.
like this. I don't like this, Mom.
Either you get your one and done, or we have 200 seats for all
Yeah.
of our ancestors at your
That's
wedding.
there's only two options.
And only my ancestors.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
people you're not related to.
All
But
of my ancestors must have a place at your table, or else.
I'm not going to take that personally. I know that the death of a child is really hard, but I'm not an extension of her daughter. I am my own person. Silly OP. No, you're not, you silly fool.
Silly.
I just told them that they're no longer invited to my wedding because I was very kind, but they didn't respect me, my mother, and my girlfriend. I told my ex-mother-in-law that I will make my whole family block them for everything if she keeps trying to make my mother feel bad. Until the end, she stood her ground and never said sorry. Was I cruel? I don't care.
Nah.
I don't owe him anything. My mother lost her husband, and they used that to manipulate her mind. They stopped being family when their daughter passed away. I was always respectful with them, nothing more. So kind of just like cordial,
Yeah.
but it didn't really go beyond that. I won't make a table in honor of anyone.
No.
I won't make a video in honor of anyone or anything like that because me and my wife want it to be a happy day. No, you must remember all of our lost fallen soldiers.
It's a sad day. You're getting married to someone else. Sad.
You know what? I will only have my brother's favorite beer and wine because that was something the cute drunk told me in life that he wanted. Haha. Did his brother pass away too?
Yeah.
Dang.
He lost his brother and his father.
This is tough.
3 for 3.
My wife said she never really lost anyone close to her, so she doesn't really need to pay tribute to anyone. The only thing that will be honored will be the union of me and my wife because that's the thing that makes my day perfect and filled with happiness. I don't like symbolic things because I believe that the dead are dead, and that's that. They are not still by my side or anything like that, but that's my belief and my point of view. Everyone can have a different point of view. To be honest, I thought I would get a lot of "you're the a-holes." Opie thought
No.
maybe he was the a-hole.
No.
Since my father passed away, it seems strange to me how people see widows and widowers. Everyone wanted my mother to continue loving my father even after he passed away.
I think there's an element of love, but it changes.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I
And that
think-
doesn't mean that
I
you don't
think
have to you're not allowed to love anyone else.
Like,
Yeah.
at some point, you have to move
You got to
on.
move on a little bit.
Just
a little bit.
Something.
Yeah.
And everyone can take it at their own pace. Maybe
Yeah.
we just read a story earlier today where someone ended up not remarrying.
Yes,
after
and that's fine.
after just divorce. And
Yeah.
that's fine. But like people live their
Let
life.
people do their own thing.
Everyone wanted my mother to continue loving my father even after he passed away. When it happened to me, I felt the same pressure. I'm a bad person for loving my girlfriend so much more than I loved her. Am I wrong for feeling that the worst loss of my life was my brother and not my wife's or my father's? All the widows have picture of their deceased partners. Am I a bad person for not wanting to do that? Should I still wear my wedding ring like the widows from grief counseling does, but I don't want to? Or am I a bad person for not feeling anything for her anymore? Whew.
Damn.
Wow. I felt guilt many times a long time ago. Those were my questions that I asked myself daily as soon as I began my relationship with my wife, though. Questions that I don't ask at all anymore, but they really tortured me because that is usually what is expected of a widower, is that we are that forever, never the husband, eternally the melancholic character, even if we have found someone new. Sad.
This is so sad.
Shouldn't be that way.
No.
We are always expected to love our deceased partner, even if we have a new person, because you can romantically love two people at the same time. But what if I don't want to? What if that's not for me and I just want to give all my love to one person? What if I want to move on with my life? I think at this point, I'm just venting, so sorry if you've made it this far. No need to apologize, OP.
Mm.
Be kinder to new wives and husbands and don't force them to be the bigger person. I felt ready to start dating 2 years later, and I met the love of my life a few years later after that. But I know a lot of married people who shouldn't be because they're still grieving and sending all of their mental load to their partners or making them feel like second place. Please learn that it is good to be alone when you do not feel ready. There's nothing wrong with being single, and don't make an innocent person suffer with you. Thanks for all the people who gave me good audios, even if some of them were pretty weird. I had an agitated weekend, so now I'm just want to watch some TV with my girlfriend. We have some quick relevant comments we'll end out with, but I mean, how are we feeling right now, Sophia?
I think OP is, it has a right to experience his life and his relationships the way that he wants to, and he shouldn't have to listen to what other people
It's
have
so
to say about
sad
it.
and stupid.
Yeah.
Like, hey, grieve how you want. You can't tell me. Empress Sleepless Night says this perfectly.
No.
Everyone is justified in their own opinion.
Agreed.
If you feel you want to do all of these different things and ceremonies and blah, blah, blah to honor your late child, please go for it.
Do it.
If OP doesn't want to have a tombstone and video of his late wife and
at his wedding,
if he doesn't want to put his new wedding ring over his old one at the ceremony, that is okay.
It's also okay.
That is also okay. Man, it really, I've never really thought about it before, but it is, and I see what OP means. I could see a lot of people like kind of having this expectation of like, oh no, you still love them. You still want to carry on their memory and their legacy.
Yeah.
You didn't divorce. You didn't break up. It's so sad. But like, ultimately at the end of the day, I'm sure so many people just want to move on, and find a life partner and have children and do those things.
Yeah. I think any feelings that you have are valid in that, and it doesn't have to, there isn't one answer to it.
There really isn't. It is truly to each their own.
Yeah.
Everyone grieves differently. The only thing you can't do is force your grieving process onto someone else.
Exactly.
Especially when it disrupts something so personal as a wedding.
Yeah. With someone else.
With
who doesn't
someone
have
else.
any relationship to this deceased wife.
That is literally showing zero care for the new partner here. For context, it would have been, I think, a different scenario if, because a lot of times people become so close with their partner's families, it's like they're like family as well.
Yeah.
And not saying that would have justified like putting an empty chair or anything like that, but just as far as like them being more in contact and maybe doing more of these activities, if the ex-mother-in-law was kind of like a mom to him, you know, maybe they do more stuff together and maybe he hears her out, but this is just beyond ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Beyond ridiculous.
Yeah.
But, ladies and gentlemen, we do have more.
What?
I know.
You're a liar.
You know, some people would say it's a lie, but alas, it is not.
Other people would say it's the truth.
Other people would say it's the truth, but I shall sip my elixir and dive back in. So, let's talk about it. That survey 5021 says, you didn't have kids together, right? If not, move on from your ex-in-laws. They are never going to treat your new wife without thinking of their daughter, which means they're always going to be a problem. When you have a kid, you didn't name it after her. When you buy a house, you can't bring her to the house you live with your wife. When you go on a vacation, you went there with your wife and you're sullying it by bringing your new wife. It's really never going to stop. Yeah, great point. They're just going to keep inventing things like, oh, you don't bring her here. You don't honor her memory here. Like, you ordered a latte, but didn't have latte art in the shape of her face.
You know that she likes a cappuccino.
It was her favorite.
You ordered a latte.
Shut up. Julia X 1984 says, isn't it great how love can give us courage to stand up for others when we wouldn't do it for ourselves? Great job, all of you. I hope he says thanks. An introverted brawler says, till death do his part. You fulfilled your vow. Didn't even think about that. Didn't even think about that.
You fulfilled your side of the bargain.
Yes. And now you're free.
You're free.
Whatever is beyond the veil is beyond your understanding. Go live the life you have left. Getting deep here.
Mic drop, yeah.
Mike freaking drop.
Beyond the veil.
Do we go no contact with the ex
I think so.
late wife's?
I think so. I don't think that they're relevant. I don't think they're relevant anymore.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds terrible, but you are actually 100% right.
Yeah.
It would be, again, very different if they had this like close relationship.
Yeah. He
was
like, I never had a close relationship with them, and now they're hounding me about my relationship. Cut them off.
I text them a few times a month, and now they want to completely change my wedding.
Yeah. You're out.
Get out of here.
3 strikes and you're out.
Goodbye. But we got one more story, ladies and gentlemen. What did you freaking think this was? A joke?
You thought this was a one story kind of deal?
I just want to make my mother shut up. My wife threw out the flowers I got her on Valentine's Day. I destroyed her late husband's wedding ring and messed everything up. Wow. This is OKOP, home of the craziest true stories on the internet, as we just saw. I'm John, and Sam, is OP in the wrong for messing up the late husband's wedding ring?
I mean, definitely in the wrong, and you might get haunted.
Like, truly.
You desecrated a ring of a dead man.
You won't just be declared the a-hole. You will be haunted for the rest of your life.
Haunted, for sure. But I want to see what really happens. Let's go.
Let's get into it.
Also, happy Valentine's Day.
Hey!
Oh, is this the Valentine's Day episode?
Yes.
That's
Sweet.
true. This is a special Valentine's Day. And it's red alarms because we're so much love, okay? Mortar and Pestle says, I met my wife when we were 20. We got together shortly after we met, and we got engaged at 26 and just married last autumn. Congrats, OP.
Congrats.
When I met her, she was a widow. She had known her late husband since infancy. Her mom babysat him, and they had been dating since 7th grade, married at 18 years old. He passed away in a car accident when they were 20, shortly before I met her. When we first started dating, she was still grieving his death. She would often have panic attacks and lock herself in the bathroom crying. I tried to be as understanding as I could when things like this happened. I tried to comfort her, but she would just ask for space. Over the years, this has lessened and lessened, and she never brings him up anymore.
I wonder, like, is it a good idea to get in a relationship like that quickly after?
I could imagine like your heart, almost like what are all the reasons for like a rebound, right? You're like heartbroken. You want someone to kind of like fill the void, for lack of a better way of describing it. So maybe this was just like bouncing right into it. Also, you're 20 years old. Like people 20 years old bounce back just off of like getting dumped. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, but getting dumped is way different than the love of your life dying.
So I'm saying like if it's that much worse and you have that much more of like a void to fill, and like if you just
you're saying
you know
it's like that much
like,
more to just get back
you might
in.
just like leap at the chance for the comfort of a new
That's
relationship,
back
even
in
if
the
it's
day,
not
like
healthy.
in this like 1700s Boston, when they had like a super high child mortality and also wife mortality rate or mother mortality rate, and so like people would just jump right back into relationships after they were widowed or
Right, because it's like it might
like you only
not-
got so many years to pump out some kids.
Oh, jeez.
And so
Wow.
people would just
Damn.
and also financial stability back then too.
True. It is. Hey, even today it's a lot easier. 2 is a lot better than 1. If we're talking rent and other things. But OP says, our first Valentine's Day, I got her chocolates and flowers. She accepted them and said that she appreciated the gesture. But then she said she thinks Valentine's Day is just a stupid commercial holiday and that she doesn't care for. I retorted that I think it's a sweet day where couples could profoundly express their love and that I would still like to celebrate it with her at least a little. But I see you in the comments. If
This
you,
seems a little sus. I feel like
Yeah.
Valentine's Day, she like maybe she commemorates her old lover.
yes, I think
Valentine's Day is for first love.
there's something below the surface. Look, put I see you in the comments if you're seeing what we're seeing.
Yeah.
Okay, just drop it down. After pressing it for a while, she admitted that she didn't want to celebrate it because she had celebrated it with her late husband.
It feels like she's not ready for another relationship.
Yeah, I mean that's a lot to process in that
And
short of a time, and then be in a new relationship.
yeah.
Whew. It started with corny little Valentine's cards that you make for your classmates in elementary school to full-fledged romantic dinners. Then eventually they got married on Valentine's Day.
Oh,
I mean, yeah,
that
yeah.
is tough.
that is tough. We were
Who gets married on Valentine's Day?
I mean, it's the most
Most
romantic, day.
day.
Also, bad side effect, all of your friends who are in relationships, they can't celebrate Valentine's Day because they're at your wedding.
That's true.
Little side
dude,
effect.
if you celebrate your marriage on Valentine's Day, most likely marriage to have other people propose at.
Right. Keep feeding us, guys. Get those marriages on Valentine's Day to keep feeding us those,
Yeah, keep
those
feeding us these
proposal on
stories.
wedding stories. We were freshly in a relationship, so I digressed and agreed no Valentine's Day. So I never attempted to celebrate it again.
Bro, this relationship is not off to a good start.
I'm
it
very
feels
curious,
like.
everyone in the comments, if you could share, should they abandon Valentine's Day or not? Sam, what do you
I don't know,
think?
she's not ready to be in a relationship.
Yeah, just not ready to be in a
I
relationship.
don't think. I mean, like,
think.
right?
Yeah, I think that is the real answer.
Right?
The
I
real
mean,
answer to the real
She
question.
needs to heal.
Yeah. She needs to grieve, like therapy,
Yeah.
like time. I don't know. I mean, that's such a traumatic life event because it's like
Yeah.
she's also known him since they were like infants. So
yeah. And also, but I think I feel for her because it's like she's probably only ever known being in a partnership. And so being
100%.
alone is super scary for her, I imagine.
This brings us to Valentine's Day. Man, I could feel my blood boiling typing this. It's our first Valentine's Day as a married couple. They're now married. Yes.
and they got married on Valentine's Day.
We'll
No.
see. We'll say, put a nice you in the comments for our boy Sam here.
No.
You might be seeing it. She never discusses him anymore. So I think, why not surprise her with some flowers at work? So she hasn't talked about him. So he's like, oh, we're Gucci. Let me send her some flowers on Valentine's Day after they had agreed on Valentine's Day. Probably some years back.
Dude.
Oh, they're 26 now. So the agreement happened when they were 20 years old. So now they've been together for 6 years, actually. Interesting.
I mean, I feel like that's okay, but maybe you should ask, like, hey, do you want to celebrate?
Ask. Yeah, right. Like it has been 6 years.
Day?
So
it is already a weird thing to not. Well, if your dad dies on Valentine's Day and you're like, hey, I don't want to celebrate Valentine's Day because my dad died on Valentine's Day. And then 6 years pass and you're married. Do you be like, surprise?
do you leave it on them? Like,
Probably
I feel
not.
like just give her flowers on like a random day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Be like, hey, this is
On the 13th.
surprise love day, right? Oh my gosh. We've come so far over the years. Our relationship is near perfect. I love her beyond words.
On solid ground.
Nothing is wrong with expressing that, right? Wrong. I bring home the flowers, a full-fledged $100 bouquet, and she loses her absolute crap. She said it's the one thing that she's ever explicitly asked me not to do, and I couldn't even respect that. She grabbed the flowers out of my hands, storms out of the apartment without even putting shoes on. Damn. I follow after her, and she starts screaming at the top of her lungs and throws them in a dumpster. Her knees give out, and she shrinks to the ground, crying like an absolute crazy. That's word for word there.
Wow.
I have never seen her this bad. I get down on the ground with her and hold her, profusely apologizing. She calms down and we go back to our apartment. A few hours pass by and admittedly, I make an even bigger mistake.
How bigger?
How?
What does he do?
She's on her computer doing some work and I ask her, do you still love him? Was I just a rebound?
Oh, dude. He's so just a rebound.
Dude.
He's so just a rebound. And obviously she still loves him.
It's an impossible question to ask someone who's lost it.
You are setting yourself up for failure.
Literally, we've talked about this before. If they pass away, it's not like you divorce them or anything. Like,
yeah, dude, you can't compete with a dead person.
yeah, dude, you can't do it. Oh, I regretted the words as soon as they came out.
Oh, dude, she's going to say, yeah.
I wish I could take them back instantly. We haven't discussed them since the first year that we were together. Again, this is like 6 years or 5 years later, 6 years in deep. But I don't want to ignore the subject. It's killing me. I had to ask. Her response?
What's her response?
No response. Nothing at all.
Which is almost worse. Well,
That's-
not worse. Actually, no, I don't think it's worse. But
It's not
like,
good.
The silence is telling.
Silence. Ooh, silent. The silence is deafening.
Yeah,
right now.
the silence might have well been a yes.
Yeah. I get angrier.
Mm.
I know I shouldn't have, but I start yelling at her to answer me. She gets up, starts packing a duffel bag with clothes.
Dude.
I ask, where is she going? Still nothing. She wouldn't even make eye contact with me. She takes off her engagement ring and wedding rings from our marriage and puts it on the nightstand. I lose it at this point. I feel out of my mind. I literally can't feel my body. It's like I'm watching myself from the third person.
So rough, dude.
Her late husband was cremated, so she kept his wedding ring after he passed in a little box in her sock drawer.
Oh, no. I'm just remembering the title.
OP.
Oh, P's about to do something he can't come back from.
I grab the box. I get a hammer and I start bashing the ring in and telling her he's dead and I'm her husband now.
Oh my God. Whoa. That's so abusive.
Oh, man. You may be the a-hole.
You're shipping. Bro, you might be the a-hole. I can't believe she's not over him. Awful stuff. You know what's awful? Doing what you just did. I know. I don't know what I was thinking. She balls for me to stop. I immediately stop.
Jeez.
I realized what I had just done. I wasn't thinking. I couldn't have been. I would never do something like that, but I just did. Yeah. I would never do it, but I just did it.
There's no redo button, no respawn point, bro. You just did that thing.
Then she left. I begged her to stay as she was walking out, but she didn't. I've tried contacting her a million times since. Her phone is off? Question mark? Or she's blocked me? I don't know. I called her parents. I called her close friends. No one knows where she is, or at least they won't tell me. I know I messed up. Is there anything I can do to fix this?
Fix the ring.
Yeah, at least. Is my marriage over? I've never felt this kind of anger before. I've never been so vicious before. I don't know what came over me. Jealousy? Maybe. I don't know. I guess I can't really describe it. It just felt like what I had built with her was based on a rebound. If he hadn't have passed away, they would have probably still been together, and I'm just holding his place now. She's always treated me with immense love, never compared me to him. She's the most hardworking, brave, sweetest woman I know. She's always encouraged me and pushed me to achieve my dreams and supported me when I failed. And of course, there's an update.
Wow.
I gotta wet my whistle after that one.
Terrible move on his part.
I mean, dude, this
the
man.
question, I mean, obviously the ring bashing, terrible, but
Yeah.
like the question, setting yourself up for failure. But I do think the question holds in it a seed of truth that he probably knows himself.
I mean, yeah, like I think it was probably for her. I mean, she's grieving, like all these things. Like you said, she had been in a relationship basically from 7th grade to 20, like her whole life.
How many
7 years. Yeah.
7 years. So,
And your formative years too. I mean,
yeah,
that's like,
I think you got to double it before
you
20.
do have to double it.
She hasn't fully grieved. I don't think she fully grieved.
No, like,
You can't fully grieve if you're like immediately dating someone.
And
I wonder
again-
if they come from a religious background.
that totally could be the case. And like, even if not, I understand the logic behind why she sought another relationship. Like, but it's not,
Yeah, I mean,
can you really grieve?
I don't
your
think so. I don't think so.
Partner's passing.
I mean, it took me a long time to get over one of my exes,
Mm-hmm.
and like I think I definitely jumped into a relationship pretty quickly after that, which was not, I think, healthy.
Yeah.
You need time. Like, and
But it happens, right? It's like
happens.
that
It happens.
knee jerk or whatever. So, what do you think, OP? And please share your insights below.
OP it up. OP it up.
Is there anything OP can do?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I
Try to fix the ring.
Yeah.
But in terms of saving the relationship, like you really, I mean, like,
yeah, dude.
the ball's in her court. What's that quote in Batman where it's like,
Yeah, it's that one.
Yeah, that one.
I'm Batman.
But it's like live.
Live long enough.
What is it?
Live long. You either
You either die a hero
hero
or live long enough to see yourself become a villain.
and OP has lived long enough to see himself become a
See, if
villain.
he just died, he would have been a martyr.
Dude, but OP's
But the thing is, OP's wife's original husband died a hero.
I guess technically
And-
true.
And like martyrs are so much more powerful than like living people,
It's true.
because it's like they become a symbol of
That's
like
right.
whatever they stood for, and like this guy stood for love
Literally to his last days.
to his last days. How do you feel about this comparison, John?
I'm just letting you go, dude. I'm just along for the ride on this one. Are we ready to get into this next update? All right. Her brother called me and let me know that she's safe and staying with a family member, but won't specify where.
Okay.
He asked if he could come pick up more of her stuff, including the destroyed ring. He specifically asked that I not throw it away or further tarnish it, which low key, I mean, maybe you kind of need to at
Yeah.
that point. From our place without her. I reluctantly agreed. I really want to see her, but I understand why I can't right now. She hasn't texted me back or called me herself. I'm starting to think that she won't be anytime soon.
Dude.
And according to everyone here, I have no one to blame but myself. I mean, Loki. Not sure if I'll keep replying to comments. It's taking a toll on me, but I'm still reading all of them. Some are hard to read, but I appreciate them anyway. I guess I'm an a-hole.
Yep.
You guessed correct.
Yep.
But it's hard to live in the shadow of a ghost.
Dude, that's bar.
It is hard to live in the shadow.
That is a bar.
It's hard to live in the shadow of a ghost.
Live in the shadow of a ghost.
Yeah.
What's the next line and what?
We're looking up shadow of a ghost.
Over again. Don't make me change my mind.
That's not living in the shadow of a
What does
ghost.
that have to do with the
Yeah,
chicken?
but I was just.
It gives you the
It
vibes.
was giving me the vibe.
That's funny. I like the emo
I
happy
would
birthday.
die for you. Over again, living in the shadow of your ghost.
I mean, that fit in well. Okay.
Come
There.
on. Hey,
The payoff was worth it,
There
I
we
guess.
go.
All right, but we're getting back to the story. So, Opie says, I just wanted to celebrate Valentine's Day so I could show her how much I love and appreciate her.
Yeah, and then I bashed that ring to really show her.
Things got out of hand, you don't say. Some of my comments on here were out of anger, and I'm sorry for that. I love my wife despite what people on here think, and I won't stop fighting for her.
Ew.
Second to last update.
Yikes.
Never mind. I was wrong.
Oh,
What?
I thought he was gonna say, never mind. I stopped fighting for her.
Yeah. She texted me back shortly after her brother called. The next time you see me, there will be a lawyer and divorce papers. I'm scared of you now. Please stop contacting me and my family. And if you come anywhere near me, I'm going to call the cops.
I'm scared of you now.
I mean,
That's a heartbreaking.
dude.
I would be scared if someone just
Yeah.
started like breaking my stuff and like screaming.
Yeah, and he was like,
Oh.
first he started yelling at her like, do
you
you
love
love him? Do you
him.
love him? And then he ran and started bashing it with a hammer.
Which is also just a wild thing to say to like someone, you know, like a person they've lost.
Yeah, like again, if you're going to be in a relationship with a person who I feel like you have to come to terms with that.
Yeah.
Like you just have to.
Don't fight with a ghost.
Can't fight a ghost,
Can't
my
land
guy.
any hits, baby. Can't kill a ghost.
That was verbatim. So I guess that is that. I guess I underestimated the severity of what I did.
Yeah. No shit, dude.
I guess it isn't as black and white as I thought. I knew I messed up. I just didn't think it was this bad. I'm floored, devastated. I hope she texted that out of anger and that she'll come around.
I don't think so, buddy.
Part of me is so angry that I want to throw away his ring entirely. You see,
This is the reason.
the problem continues. And her engagement/wedding ring from our marriage too. It is hard to imagine she actually wants to leave me. For now, whiskey it is. Oh.
OP has some self-destructive habits.
OP. Okay, so I think we have. Is this our final update? All right, this is our final update. So we've talked about there really isn't anything OP can do to salvage the relationship.
But he can be a good person.
He can be a good person.
Can be a good person going forward.
I'm curious, everyone watching Sam, like, what should he do? Like, what are some acts?
I mean,
that he
one,
could do?
don't throw away the ring. 2, try to fix it.
Yes.
3, maybe write some kind of apology.
Yeah.
And maybe it's time to move on.
Yeah. I think writing and maybe like rereading it so he can kind of, because one thing he was like, oh, the comments, I'm seeing the comments. It's hard to read, but I am gaining some clarity. I feel like if he writes it, reads it back, he'll like get a sense of it might make him more self-aware of what's.
Yeah, because he feel like he oscillates between self-awareness
He
and
keeps going back and forth. Yeah. So great advice. Let us know if you would do anything differently down in the comments. But let's get into this last update. Last actual update. After I left her multiple voicemails and texts from her last text, she sent me back a text, and here it is. Which, by the way, this is all of the voicemails and texts after she was like, never contact me again. Oh boy. She says, I love you. I wanted to spend the rest of my life with you, but it's become clear that you can't accept the life I had before you. I've learned how to love because of him. And because of that, I was able to love you as long and as much as I did. In a way, you're right. I wasn't ready to get into a relationship when we did, but we did, and we were in deep. I wasn't ready, but I didn't want to lose you because of the wrong timing. And we built an amazing life together, or so I thought. What you did is unforgivable. I would rather you have hit me with the hammer than leave the ring intact. I got rid of all my photos with him because you didn't want it in our home. That ring was all I had left. Please do not get rid of it. Keep the apartment, keep the car, keep anything you want of ours. I will tell any lawyer I want the bare minimum, but the ring is mine.
Oh.
If you have ever cared about me, let me just have it back so I can get it fixed. We are not coming back from this. I'm sorry. I hope you'll heal from this, but there's nothing you can say or do to undo the damage here. What's done is done.
Oh.
Take care of yourself. Legal proceedings are the only thing in our future. And I'm sorry that that has to be the case, but I'm
What a
done.
mature letter.
Truly. I mean, I feel like now probably, I mean, she's gone through so much grief. She's probably had a lot of growing to do. She was forced to do
Yeah.
a lot of growing. And I
yeah,
mean,
and I think she admitted to kind of what we said, like, yeah, she wasn't ready for a relationship.
yes,
But the thing is, he also wasn't ready for that relationship
not at all.
because he was still comparing himself.
He could have been like, and again, like he was young too, young and in love, whatever. But like he could have also been like, hey, I love what we have going here, but maybe we should,
Pause.
take it slow, pause, just to make sure we're building on a solid foundation and give you time. Like I care about you and I want you to be able to grieve. But also, I mean, I guess there's not a ton of 20-year-old dudes running around saying that when they got a shorty coming their way. So I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
Poetic, John. Poetic.
I mean, I calls it like I sees it.
Yeah, man. I mean, yeah. I don't think there's anything he can do to save this,
No.
but he can be better going forward.
Yeah.
You know,
Save the ring. Restore the ring. I think you could still preserve.
what do you? Here, I have a question for you though.
Yeah.
So she said you didn't let me have any pictures of him in the house. What do you think about that? The idea of having pictures of not, I mean, it's not an like, or well, here, but let me ask you in multiple stages. All right.
Yeah.
You're dating, you're dating to be married to a woman,
Mhm.
right?
Can imagine that.
And she had a ex-lover that meant a lot to her, right? Still alive ex-lover. And she has pictures like 4 pictures throughout the house.
4 pictures?
4 pictures.
Just 4.
Just 4. Are you okay with that?
No. No.
All right, now he's dead.
Yeah. Yep.
But he died after they broke up.
How?
Oh.
He got an erection and all the blood went to his massive penis and died.
I was expecting like a car crash.
This man. Okay. I'll play along with your hypothesis.
Yeah. And he's dead after, and she's like, oh man, he's dead. I need to remember him. So she puts 4 pictures up that
And
she had
you
with
put
him.
the stipulation he passed away after they were in
After.
a relationship.
But still meant a lot. They ended on good terms.
That's tough.
Baby, he meant
Is
a
it
lot to me.
just
He
a-
taught me how to love.
Sam, is the picture just of the guy?
That's a good question,
No, no,
Or is
Sophia.
it like
It's
them
of them
together?
kissing together.
What?
Kissing. Okay, kissing's probably too far.
Too far.
Okay, I might sit down and be like, what is a meaningful way for you to commemorate this
And
person
I
that
did
would
this
feel
kissing photo
good to
for the
you?
Eiffel Tower
I mean, kissing
on the
photo,
mantelpiece.
kidding photo. I mean, there's gotta be another photo. There's gotta be any other photo. Gotta be any other photo. But I mean,
But you would allow a photo.
yeah.
Okay.
I think a lot of photo.
Now, prime of the relationship died.
Yeah.
Same reason.
Yeah, because so in the relationship, especially they were married too.
They were
Let's
married.
let's say I'm in OP's exact same like kind
Yeah,
of situation.
Now you are in OP situation.
You're 20 years old.
I'm 20,
20
years
years
old.
old.
Prime of your
Got
life.
a hot piece of ass coming my way. Yeah.
The blood is.
The blood is coursing. Damn, Sophia came to create content today, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. I feel like photos like hey,
Kissing.
no kissing, but photos.
All right.
I'll take no
So
kissing.
No kiss.
No kissing.
All right. They only ever took photos when they were kissing. The only photos that they have of this
Oh my God.
dead ex-lover is kissing in front of the Eiffel Tower.
Sure. Fine. Let's do it.
Yeah, there we go. There
Yeah.
we go. John's a real one.
I'm a
But
real
what
one.
would you allow? I would want to know,
Yes.
like, of these crazy scenarios that I proposed to our dear boy John.
But you know what I allow you to do, Sam, now?
What?
Read this next story.
All right, let's get into it.
My best friend passed. Now I'm taking in her kid. I had posted a few times before on Reddit about my fiance and I, about my not wanting kids, our engagement, the love we have for each other. For the most part, my posts have had happy endings, but this one just isn't a really happy one. No.
Well, we'll see about
No.
We'll see what we can do about that.
My goddaughter, but we do refer to each other as niece and tia. I have been there for her whole life, and she has always been one of my favorite people and still is. It's been a really hard several months since the accident, and everyone is having a tough time. I have spent most of my life with my best friend in it, then without him. Our parents are best friends due to us being friends at first. I refer to his mom as Mama, his last name, and dad as Papa, his last name. And he did the same with my parents. My siblings were his siblings. He was an only child. We went to events/concerts together a lot so many times since he passed. Multiple times since he passed. I've subconsciously bought him a ticket. Forgetting that he wouldn't be able to use it. I introduced him to his wife in high school. We were the only two openly nerdy cheerleaders at our school. They got pregnant young, and I was there to help, and I even went so far as to stop eating foods she couldn't eat because I could tell being pregnant was not fun for her. I was at the hospital because she was scared and asked me to be close by. I was the first non-blood family member to see Amy. I say all of this because him and his family are indeed my family. So them passing was a huge hit for everyone, especially for Amy. Now, the month when it happened, Amy went to stay with her grandparents. Luckily, we all stay in the same big cities, so the farthest any one of the family is from the other is an hour at most, and that's mainly due to traffic. The issue, though, is that her grandparents are much older, 70s, compared to my parents, 50s. So while they do very much love her, they are already at that point where they themselves need help. Plus, they just lost their only son and daughter-in-law. Ooh. Amy's mom's parents are out of state, and they also didn't believe moving her to them and away from everyone she knows was the right thing either. Her grandparents overall didn't think Amy staying with them was the best for her, and they relayed that to my parents, who then mentioned this to me. So after talking to my fiance about it, as well as talking about it in therapy, which included me, my fiance, and both our therapists.
Oh, wow. It's like a tag team.
Yeah. We came to the conclusion that we would be happy to take her in since we're financially capable, have the space, and we do also just love her so much. What an angel move.
Yeah.
Like, this is not someone, I mean, I could say, like, I have a lot of family friends who I'm close to, but, like, this is still such a big, like, thing to take on.
Well, this is almost, from the way it was written, it sounds like OP feels like this is essentially his daughter-in-law.
Yeah.
Or like his niece, essentially.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely.
So
before the accident, she was realistically at her house at least 3 times a week. She's the reason why I even have an art room, since it was an activity we always did together. Even at 11, she's a fantastic artist. When we approached her grandparents, they were completely on board with the idea, and I do think that a part of them had hoped we would take her without them asking us directly, hence the comment to my parents. However, when we had broached the idea to Amy, she was hesitant. It turns out that she's aware that I never wanted kids and is afraid that I will hate her for having to raise her.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
That's so sad.
Wow, that's a really aware 11-year-old.
Yeah, I mean, maybe OP has always, like, kind of said, like, I never want to have kids, but you're my kid, you know? Something like you're the only kid I need in my life.
Well, I'm sure that
And then maybe
OP's
she took
about
that to
to
her.
squash that immediately.
Absolutely. It 100% broke my heart that she felt that way, and I tried everything to convince her that was wrong. In the end, I told her the truth. I will never be able to replace her mom or dad, and I have no plans to. Her parents made me her godmother because they knew that I would love and care for Amy the way they loved and cared for her. I could never hate her. My fiance even pointed out that I was the one who had the idea to foster her. But I also had to stress to her that this is a new situation for all of us. We are all grieving together, and we are all jumping into this new living situation together. So there will be mistakes, but there will also be a lot of love. We also put her in therapy, which she has been very hesitant about, but after finding out that my fiance and I are both regularly in therapy, she felt a lot more comfortable.
Mhm.
This is lovely. You just need to like show that it's not like such a big deal, and then
Yeah.
everyone's, doing it.
It's crazy to me that there is stigma around therapy.
My fiance has been great through all of this and my absolute rock. He was also very close to my best friend. My best friend was going to be his groomsman and was the second person my fiance asked after he asked his brother to be the best man. Wow. So they're like they were all super close.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, if they're taking in their kid.
I mean, it really feels like almost like surrogate siblings.
I think so. Yeah. My best friend was the type of person who will see something and say, this looks like something so-and-so would like, so I'm going to buy it for them. So some days I'll catch my fiance staring at one of these many gifts for a long time. Or he'll say something like, I hope they both knew how much I loved them. Oh, we hold each other tighter now when we hug and kiss longer than before. When I asked about Amy living with us, my fiance was shocked and wasn't sure how he felt since change was happening lightning fast with the engagement, then the accident, and now with Amy. Yeah, I mean, that is totally fair to be like, I don't know, because that is a huge undertaking, especially when you're like, you guys had plans to get married and you lost someone, and
I'm
now
loving
you're
how
taking the kid.
open all of this communication is. It's like
great.
so good.
It's like, how would you feel if we did this? Because it is a huge thing. So I didn't bring it up again until a week later with I thought about it, and until he did a week later with I thought about it, and I think it would be good for all of us, but let's get our therapist together to make sure we aren't jumping the gun because we love her. Smart.
Yeah.
Amy moved in right after Thanksgiving. All the families got together for the holidays with her to remind her that she is never alone. She has her mom's family out of state, but they call often. Her dad's family, my fiance's family, out of the country too, minus my fiance's brother plus his wife. And let's not forget all of our friends and their families. There was a lot of crying, but a lot of laughing too. They have such a great support system.
They really do. It sounds like there's...
Yeah.
It takes a village. It takes a village.
Takes a village. You know what they say?
It's a saying that's been around for a long since
there
were villages.
I mean, there's still villages, but
same thought. Nice.
Yeah, but there's a little bit more to this. There's a lot more to the story. Her living with us is a huge adjustment, but nothing we can't handle. She's always been a sweet girl and very bubbly and loud. Since the accident, she's obviously been a lot more withdrawn and quiet, but I'm seeing sparks of herself come back briefly and slowly. We had to switch her therapist a few times, but this current one is definitely helping a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Amy really likes her too.
Good.
Her grades did slip a bit, but my fiance has made it a point to do homework with her every day, and it made her cry the first few times he did it. He asked her if she wanted him to stop, but it turns out that it just reminded her of her dad. So it really meant a lot to her that Tio was so willing to help her too. Oh,
That's actually so...
this is so sweet.
I'm gonna cry.
This is so sweet.
No. No. This is so good though.
This is really great. I mean, it's so sad what's going on, but it's just like, it really shows that, sometimes people really come together to
From
out.
literally one of the worst things that could ever happen to you as like a kid.
Yeah.
And now like just landing in a spot where everybody is there and they all love you and they all want to support you.
Yeah.
And also it's like it's all man.
I was expecting some rebelling, but that hasn't happened yet. LOL.
Yeah.
It definitely will.
Being like, I know she's 11 now, but she's going to be 13 eventually.
Actually, she had been doing the absolute most. She would clean up after us because we had a chance to do it ourselves. Before we had a chance to do it ourselves. Or try to do things for us that seemed a little out of character. After some prodding, it turns out it was because she's afraid we would get rid of her if she upset us or did something wrong. Which, that was clear from those behaviors and stuff. We have stressed that in no way that has crossed our minds. We are here for her, and unless she wants nothing to do with us, we will continue to be here for her through the good and bad. But let me tell you, I cried so much that night, feeling terrible that she felt that way. I want her to know that our love is unconditional, and it always has been. We are also in the process of setting up a trust for her. Her parents left behind money, and there is money coming in from their insurance policies too. So all that is going in the trust for her. I will also help supplement this trust, plus my fiancé, even though I stress that he doesn't need to. Neither myself or my fiancé will touch this trust. When she turns 18, she will have access to use the money for college if she decides to go, and a set amount will be available every month to live on. If she decides not to go, then she will still have access to a set amount every month. Side note, we would prefer she go to college and will encourage it, but her dad didn't go to college and did well as an artist, and we see that she has his talents, so we just want to be supportive of any decision she makes. Oh, they're so good! When she turns 21, she will have access to the full trust to use as she wishes, but we will do our best to ensure she is responsible with it when the time comes. At the end of the day, she will be an adult, and we have to trust she will be responsible when she has access to the money. I also want to say we didn't come to this decision on our own. We consulted with all 4 sets of our grandparents, and this was what we all thought was the best approach, as well as help from a lawyer. When Amy is a little older, we will discuss this with her, but for now, she's still so young and dealing with a lot. Some nights I sleep with her in bed, with my fiancé sleeping on the floor by the bed, because she cries herself to sleep and she feels so alone. I don't know if that feeling will go away anytime soon. I think about how I'm in my 30s and I still can't imagine not having my parents. So I really have no idea what she's feeling. Best I can hope for is that I can help the pain just a little bit. Amy's mom was going to be my bridesmaid, and I was going to have Amy be the flower girl, but I think I'm going to ask Amy if she would prefer to be my bridesmaid.
Oh. That's such a cute image.
So
just
sweet.
like bridesmaid, whoop, like
Mhm.
bridesmaid. It's just the height difference.
Amy looks so much like both her parents, and I see so much of their personalities in her. A part of me feels like having her up there with me will make me feel like her parents are up there with me too.
Yeah, sometimes that's how it gets.
That's life, man. And I never once imagined getting married without either of them by my side. All planning stopped the moment of the accident for that reason, and even now typing this has me crying that they won't actually be there. But also, that's a lot of pressure to put on Amy. I don't want to tell her all that. I do want to give her the option to be my bridesmaid if she wants, and if she doesn't want to, then that's also okay because she's still going to be part of my wedding. I won't even bring this up for a while because I'm still not in the headspace to plan the wedding right now. There is no real reason why I'm posting this. I tried a couple times to write out what happened, but each time I broke down or deleted it. I think I just want to vent or just feel better. Maybe to get validation that we are doing the right thing and not messing Amy up. One step at a time, I guess. And there is an edit. I'm seriously overwhelmed by all the comments. I was trying to respond to every single one, but now I'm falling behind because there are so many. If I don't respond to your comments, still know that I really appreciate your support, love, kind words. I wish I could hug every single one of you. I don't know what I was looking for posting here, but I feel immensely grateful I did because you have all shown me so much love and support. I'm just a crying mess, but just know it's definitely happy tears because I now feel like I'm doing the right thing for Amy. Thank you so much for your kind words and advice. I wrongly assumed that since I had the trust before, it would be easier, but you are right. Losing her parents has put her so on edge about losing me that she's sometimes overcompensating. I hope she understands that I always love her. Commenter says, who's chopping all these onions? Me.
For real.
OP says, OMG, this is what my fiance says to Amy when she's crying. Usually he ends up crying with her, and he wants to make her laugh / smile. They'll be crying and he'll shout, the onion chopper got us again. So this 100% made me smile.
Oh, you guys got bits too?
You got bits. I'm just like besides Amy and this wonderful, parenting that they got going on, OP's about to marry a wonderful man. OP's about to marry an amazing man. And that's lovely. Commenter, what a lovely ending for a heartbreaking scenario. I would reconsider the terms of the trust, though. I would consult with an attorney and put some terms, even if she does attend college, to dole it out slowly. And if she does not go to school, then I wouldn't give a lump sum at 21. OP says, we're still working out the trust with a lawyer and financial planner / tax guy. But since this is her money, we can only help and advise her on how to use it. Her parents didn't have a will in place because I'm sure they didn't think they needed to. The money automatically goes to Amy's guardians, which at the time was her grandparents. Like we said, we talked with all the grandparents. Whether she goes to college or not, she will get the lump sum at 21. Before then, we would set up an appointment with a lawyer and financial planner / tax guy with her in attendance. We are setting her up to succeed, but at that point, she is an adult. We have to trust her with her money, but we will always be here to help and guide her. And there is another commenter. I, of course, echo all the sentiments already said in the comments, but I'm stuck on Amy crying herself to sleep and being all alone. Have you thought about getting her a pet? I'd say a dog, but a cat or even a rodent would help. They give kids someone to talk to, someone to look after, instead of being the kid who needs to be looked after. And they teach responsibility. Wow. Could be just what she needs, something to snuggle at night and something to love unconditionally. OP says, it's like you were reading my mind. We were thinking about getting her a rabbit because her parents' nickname for her was Bunny.
This is why. Please, story gods, please do not flip this on us. Please. Continue to be good, cry.
It's gonna be happy.
Good cry.
I grew up with a rabbit, so I understand the pros and cons. Plus, Amy is so tender in the way she approaches all animals, so I know she won't be rough with a bunny. Also, our state just has an overwhelming amount of rabbits, and most get euthanized due to the shelters, so I feel like rabbits need a lot more love than they get. Anyway, my fiancé and I have been toying with the idea, and I feel like your comment is a sign. To a longer comment, thank you for all the advice. We are in the process of legal guardianship already with the help of the grandparents. Adoption is something that we don't want to push or force until she feels ready, or if it is even something she wants. So consider it. We don't want too many changes to be thrown at her because there have been so many in such a short period of time. So we will try to keep everything the same, including her pediatrician. We already have pictures of her and her family up too. I have a wall full of pictures of family, friends, and Amy's dad and mom are frequent and permanent fixtures on that wall. I also gave her permission to add any pictures she wanted up, whether it's her family or friends. And I've noticed over time that she's adding to the wall, so I've taken some pictures down to make more room for her. I originally gave her the guest bedroom, but I've noticed she's really spent a lot of time in the art room I have at my place, which is a room her dad helped fix up for both Amy and I to use when she would visit me. So after talking to her, I bought a bed and furniture for that room as well as a lock for privacy. She prefers the door open though, and that's her new room. She's allowed to paint on the walls, draw, do whatever she wants to that room, and don't worry, it's well ventilated.
Wow. And don't worry, it's well ventilated is the cherry on top. They're like, yeah, they really have every detail.
Yeah.
And they're doing everything right.
Everything right. She's having people over for the first time this coming weekend, so I'm meeting with some parents beforehand. I don't know why that made me so sad, but so happy. I'm nervous, but really excited to see that she's opening up more. Again, thank you. I appreciate the parent brain. Commenter says, isn't the point of godparents to raise the kid if something happens to the parents? Or is that just a label people like to use? I actually thought you were a lesbian couple because of the way you spelled fiancé.
What?
That is a female fiancé. For a man, there's only one E, fiancé.
I didn't know that.
I never knew that.
I didn't know that at all.
I thought, okay, because sometimes, a lot of the times I see in our Notion, it's spelled fiancé with 2 E's, and I've just been taking out the extra E because I thought it was a typo.
Yeah, that's funny.
Godparents is a religious thing and not a legal thing are very rare. Oh, wait. Godparents, which is a religious thing and not a legal thing, are very rarely the legal guardians after something happens to the parents unless they're blood related, like blood aunts or uncles. Godparents are there to mentor and help in the raising of the child, like Sirius Black to Harry Potter. My best friend grew up Catholic but stopped practicing. However, he dubbed me Amy's godparent because he trusted me and I've been in her life since birth. Legally, guardianship went to his parents. Now we are in the process of changing guardianship over to myself. Oh, I didn't realize because I've seen both spellings used interchangeably. You learn new things every day, and there is an update. Man, oh man. Any other thoughts?
Please let the update be good. Please.
I needed to stay good. Also, Honeybee's calling me out for being a lit major and not knowing my fiance. It's been a while, and people keep reaching out to check in, which I sincerely appreciate, so an update might be warranted. It won't be exciting at all, just where we are all at right now.
Okay, thank God. That's a good sign. I like that.
It's fine.
Not exciting. Nothing's
I
really
can take
happened.
that.
Everything's getting better.
Yeah.
Yes.
Side note, I wasn't sure if I gave my fiance a name in my previous post, but I will refer to him as David moving forward. And my best friend's name moving forward is Leo. First, I want to thank this community for the kind words of encouragement and concern for Amy. It's heartwarming to say the very least. To receive such support from strangers, there were so many comments that I got very overwhelmed and stopped responding, but I read every single one, and even if I didn't respond, I truly appreciate every single one of you. I just get really shy after a certain point, even though this is all anonymous, lol. Second, a lot of people were really focused on the trust. I commented on my previous post about it, so I'll add it here. Trust me, we are aware that 21 is still mentally really young. Ha.
Yeah, I see what you did there, OP.
Hey,
Trust me.
We consulted with all the grandparents regarding the trust, and most of them want to give her a lump sum at 18. The compromise was that the lump sum would be given at 21, with her having a sort of allowance from 18 to 21. I will also have her set up with our lawyer and financial advisor when she turns 18, plus myself, plus fiance will always do our best to guide her. But she will be an adult at that point, so all we can do is give her all the tools to help make the best decisions for herself when the time comes. We can always change the rules of the trust if need be, but that is something that we will decide as a family. Right now, we are happy with where we landed. David is my husband now. One night we were talking. Wait,
Oh,
David's
hey,
your husband
whoa.
now. Woo!
Full-on husband.
Full
Let's go.
husband. Don't have to do the fiance spelling anymore. Just husband.
Mm-hmm.
One night we were talking and we just didn't feel comfortable having the wedding this year, but we also didn't want to wait to be married. Life is short. So we went to the courthouse with Amy to make it official. Lovely.
Come
Lovely. Oh. We will be having the wedding next year to make it official, lol. We are still in therapy, both individual and family. So smart.
on. Mm-hmm.
We are also in a support group for children who have lost parents, and Amy seems to be doing really well. Amy is now 12. It was her first birthday without her parents, so I wish I could say it was an extremely happy occasion. This year has been a lot of firsts without them, and we will continue to have a lot of firsts without them. But she swears that despite crying a lot on the day, understandably, she wouldn't have been able to plan the day better herself, so a bittersweet success. Special mention, Amy is a best friend of 5 to 6 years, Monica, who I've known since she was 7. Monica is lovely, she's a bit sarcastic, which I find hilarious, and is a kind soul. According to Amy, she tried to distance herself from Monica because she felt like she was too sad to be around and didn't want to be a burden, which is kind of what you were bringing up earlier about like distancing yourself from people and stuff.
Yeah.
Bust herself over to our house and basically told Amy to knock it out and that she decides when Amy's too much, which will apparently never happen because Amy is her favorite person.
No way.
I love Monica.
She's also got a great best
She's got a
friend.
great, like, oh my God. We ended up getting Amy 2 rabbits as well. Why rabbits, you ask? Well, her parents' nickname for her was Bunny, and we were already planning on getting some kind of animal companion, so we landed on bunnies. Plus, our state has an overwhelming, we said that. Why 2 bunnies are social creatures and are happiest being raised with another rabbit. Amy is obsessed with paint and chalk. Haha. Oh, she's a little artist.
Those are great mediums as well.
Yes.
Paint and chalk.
Paint and chalk.
Mm-hmm.
After showing her the ropes and doing her own research, she has completely taken over any and all care for them, despite us offering several times. She even has a space in the fridge labeled buns for the fresh greens that she cuts up every morning to give them. She decorated an area in her room for them because they will be in her room at night, but they are allowed to venture around the house during the day. After we spent a full day bunny proofing.
But those bunnies, they're still gonna bunny
They get
poop.
everywhere. Yeah, the bunny poop gets. I used to have a bunny, and we had to be really careful. We would let it like kind of bounce around everywhere.
Well, yeah.
And we have to be really careful about it chewing like the cables and stuff.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But also we would let it kind of chill out in our backyard. And multiple times, this is when I was pretty little, or like maybe 10, multiple times it escaped into other people's yards, and we would get calls like, hey, your bunny is here.
Your rabbit's in our yard.
Yeah, and it lived a full life. At some point, we did have to send it, like we went on a trip and we sent it back to our family friend who we bought it from, who like lived on a farm. And so the bunny lived out the rest of its days on a farm.
So it's like the thing where that
Yeah, it
people
was
say
literally
where they're
sent
like,
to the farm.
your bunny went to the farm, but like this time it actually went to the farm.
No, but I remember asking my mom when we got back from our trip, I was like, hey, can we go pick up Gabriella, my bunny? And she was like, oh, yeah, sure. And then like a year later, I was like, hey, when are we picking up my bunny? And she was like, yeah, our bunny passed away.
Wait,
like, oh.
So it didn't go to the farm?
No, it did.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, no. It went to the farm, but it also died at the farm.
Okay.
Or passed away at the farm. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll believe you on that
I had
one.
pictures of it at the farm.
I'm like, Sophia, wait, is this the first moment you learned that there's no farm?
What? No, there was a literal farm, and
Oh
it
my
also passed
God.
away at that literal
Okay.
farm. Yeah.
Yes. Which is, what
Yeah.
a great
What-
place to
what
go
else can
for a
you
bunny.
ask for?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God, Honeybee says we had 3 bunnies the same gender. A few months later, there were 9. That's how I got my bunny, because they thought they had 2 female bunnies,
Mhm.
which was not the case. And then they had like a giant litter of bunnies that they were
Yeah.
trying to sell. That's how I got my bunny. It also means Chuck only sometimes sleeping with her. Aww. It also means we are no longer sleeping in her room with her, and only a handful of times has she crawled into bed with us, like on Mother's Day and Father's Day.
Mm.
We are leaving for a trip to Europe/Asia next week. David and I love to travel, but I actually start to get irritable when I don't travel for a while. David jokes that I always need my fix, lol. It's a 3-week trip starting in Poland. Fun to spend time with David's family for a week. More Polish people. Love it. And then to Asia from there. The plan was for Amy to be with us for the full 3 weeks, but she really pushed back, and we were confused about that. She only wants to go for the first week in Poland to meet David's family. Side note, his family adores her and has planned a "you're stuck with us forever" party for her. Whenever we asked about the rest of the trip, she said she didn't want to go and that we should go without her. If she didn't want to do something, we get it and don't want to force her. Understanding the why was tough for me. Does she not like traveling? No, she enjoys it. Is she afraid? No, she likes flying and thinks it's cool to see new places. Is it too much time away from home? No, she's cool with long trips. So why doesn't she want to go? She just doesn't. In family therapy, the trip came up. Finally, her reason for not wanting to join us on the rest of the trip came up. She feels like David and I are prioritizing her too much and taking her feelings into account more than we should. She feels like we aren't prioritizing our relationship or even our other friends and family. She feels like she's preventing us from doing stuff because we keep thinking about her first. No, Amy, no.
Trauma response.
Ugh.
Trauma response. But
But
I think you can get it.
Yeah.
You can get in front of that.
No,
for sure.
that OP. If I know OP, she's gotta get right in front of that. I want to make this very clear. While David and I are prioritizing her more and 100% take her feelings into account when we plan things, we still very much prioritize each other. We have a date night every week. If we do cancel, we make up for it. Our date nights did stop for a few months after Amy moved in with us, but that was just because we needed to adjust. She spends the night at Monica's every week, and that's usually when we do date night. And we do the same for Monica's mom every week. We also go to the gym together every morning. I'm not a morning person, but I am for David. And we communicate throughout the day. But she made a very good point about her friends and other family. It's been hard to balance a kid in the mix, and we have been a little neglectful. Sure, our closest friends and family usually just come over to our house and aren't shy about being themselves around Amy, but there are events that we have missed by prioritizing Amy. I'm not saying that we made the wrong choice, but she highlighted that we need to start taking care of our other relationships now that she feels safer with us. What a,
Dude, these
an adult response,
these,
you know?
these kids are getting built different
Yeah.
nowadays.
She seems very mature.
Me at 12, I would have been like, I don't know, I'm sad. I want to play World of Warcraft. I don't know. I don't know what a relationship is.
You guys are married? What?
I wouldn't be able to be like, I really appreciate that you've taken me in, but now that I feel safer with you, you guys need to start prioritizing your friendships
be
and
fair-
your relationships with others.
Yeah, which is incredibly mature for a 12-year-old, but also she has been going to therapy. so much. So she probably is
ooh.
working through that.
Well, she's she's
Mhm.
been getting like the emotional intelligence steroids.
Yeah. Amy really is the greatest kid. Even though it hasn't been a full year since they passed, she has changed so much. I mean, of course. I wish she didn't have to grow up as fast as she did, and I hope we can preserve some of her childhood, but I know her parents would be so proud of her. I'm so dang proud of her. Or I'm so dang proud of her. We tell her all the time, but I really don't think she grasps just how proud we all are of her. And by the way, we would be proud of you if you joined us live every weekday at 3 p.m. PST on YouTube, Facebook, and TikTok. Just tap her profile.
Yeah, just tap your profile. You can cry with us.
We still stressed. We would love to have her on the trip with us, but she said we should have the time for ourselves. So we decided to leave the trip as is. My parents will come with us for the first week in Poland, and they will fly back with Amy with her floating between all the grandparents while David and I are traveling. We will video call her every day to check in. We are already making more of an effort with our friends and family. Amy is also spending more nights with her many, many grandparents, which she's been loving because I'm really lucky that I have 4 nanas and 4 papas.
This is amazing.
David is absolutely slaying the parent role too. He has been more hands-on with Amy's schooling. He's the one who has been handling teacher/school stuff and pickups. I do drop-offs. He has the contact information and has made better connections with the other parents of all the kids in her class, plus all her friends' parents. He's been joking about joining the school's version of the PTA, but I don't think he's joking, lol. He's definitely the extrovert of the two of us, so it isn't surprising. I could probably go on for pages and pages about David just being the absolute best, but I already feel like this update is super long. Haha. I don't know how I would have done any of this without his love and support. Well, neither of us is perfect. We are perfect for each other, which is so evident. So evident.
Every aspect of this story is
This is
so
perfect.
wholesome.
It's honestly crazy to me that I can still love him more and more each day. Like, how is that actually even physically possible to love someone this much? Is this even healthy? I digress, lol. I think I'm doing okay. Just like Amy is dealing with a lot of firsts without her parents, so am I. At first, I didn't think it was fair for me to even grieve since Amy's situation is just on a whole other level than my own, but my therapist has to remind me not to compare my grief with hers because it's just different.
Nice call.
Yeah,
Nice call. Comparison is the thief of joy.
exactly.
I always say this.
He always says that.
I do. I say it a lot.
I sometimes imagine what my conversation with Leo would have been like if I told him I'm adopting this 11/12-year-old girl because her parents were my closest friends. I just got chills. He always understood why I didn't want kids, and he was so supportive about it when others disregarded my feelings. I wonder if he would have talked me out of it or if he would have encouraged me to do it. He 100% would have been part of the village of people supporting me, whether he agreed with my decision or not. I just wish I knew what his thoughts were about this whole thing. Sigh, I miss them so dang much. But I'm also really lucky to have David and Amy. I don't know who said it, but they said it best. If you want the rainbow, you gotta put up with the rain. That's it.
My late husband's friend tried to hijack his memorial service. I called the police.
Beep, boop, bop, boop. Hello, he's stealing the body.
I'll try to make this brief. My husband, Jonah, passed away unexpectedly a month ago from a stroke. I don't want to get specifically about that part. The worst pain I've ever felt in my entire life. And I'm still not sure how I'm going to ever move on. By the way, this comes from Angry Widow, and if you want to submit your own stories, please go to r/OKStorytime subreddit. So, we were married for 5 years, together for 7, and the past 2 years we've been trying for a baby. But we were just getting to the point of considering IVF when he fell asleep into eternity. Jonah had a close friend from high school. Let's name him Marjorie? Marjorie also ended up going to the same university as he did, and they spent a lot of time together during those college years. Jonah said that he liked Marjorie's company, but never felt anything beyond friendship with her, which I totally believe. Jonah dated other women during that period, but he told me that several times Marjorie hinted that she wanted him to ask her out. She also joked about wanting him to be her plan B in case she didn't meet someone and get married by 30. By the time I started dating Jonah, he had moved a couple hours away from his hometown and Marjorie. Despite this, Marjorie immediately began finding excuses to come to our town and hang out, which usually involved her encouraging us to go drinking, and then her passing out on the couch at Jonah's apartment. I didn't mind her for the most part, but she had a habit of saying things like, "You know, you ruined our marriage pact," and pointing out all the things she knew about him, like how he took his coffee and his favorite bands, etc. Over the course of our relationship, and especially after we got married, Jonah definitely put some more distance between his relationship with Marjorie. He confided in me that he felt he had outgrown her and that they had really little in common anymore. I understand that feeling. He stopped responding to her invitations to hang out as often, though he would occasionally call to catch up out of guilt, especially when she would text him or leave messages saying she was so sad he was ignoring her, and things like that. But now he's gone. I had him cremated like he wanted. We haven't done the memorial service yet. It was too hard for me to even imagine the first couple of weeks. And I also wanted to give time for some out-of-state people to make travel plans. The memorial was this weekend. However, 2 weeks ago, I received an email from Marjorie sent to around 60 people, including Jonah's family, saying that she was holding a memorial service for Jonah in the town where they grew up the day before his memorial. I was completely blown away, seeing as she hadn't mentioned anything to me or even attempted to call. Yeah, usually the partner of the person who's passed away should be involved in any sort of plans around the memorial service.
That's making me angry.
Yeah.
I can't imagine how I'd feel if I found this out about like my theoretical. Yeah, no.
Along with the details, the email said that she was planning the memorial in light of the fact that no other service had been held in his memory, and he deserved to be laid to rest with honor. For the record, she was invited to the memorial, which I had been planning and knew it was happening. I called her, of course, and told her that while I appreciated her willingness to help with Jonah's goodbye, I was already planning a service for him that would involve all of his family and friends. She immediately went on the defensive and said that she had only started to plan a service when she realized I was willing to do it in a timely manner. Seems like OP is dealing with the fact that, oh, her husband's gone. Yeah, and usually time doesn't work because you thought you'd have more time with your partner. So she's trying to wrap her head around that. Plus, she's also being considerate of other people's time, trying to make arrangements because they don't live in the same state as OP's husband.
I'm crashing out on this. I'm sorry. I would crash out. I don't think I can give like real logical advice for OP here because I would crash out so hard on this woman.
This is crazy, dude. I told her that the timing wasn't her choice to make, but if that she wanted to have a memorial of some kind, to please just add on the invitation that his official memorial was going to be held this weekend. She said fine. I sent the message to all of Jonah's invited friends and family to make sure they knew the real service with both of our families was going to be there, and then just washed my hands of the whole thing. This week I received a message on Facebook from Jonah's cousin saying Marjorie, who has apparently blocked me on Facebook, created an event for Jonah's official memorial service, her memorial, and invited everyone she possibly could. I've been getting blown up with emails asking which day the memorial is and where. I'm honestly furious. I don't have the emotional energy to deal with this. I ended up putting a post on my wall reiterating the date of his service here and asking people to please share it. Thankfully, I think the older members of the family don't use Facebook or email very often, so most of them hadn't been confused, but a lot of people now think that Marjorie's service is the real one. If you don't know who OP is, then go to Marjorie's thing, because why?
Yeah,
come on, go to the wife service. Come on.
At this point, anyone who doesn't know that his wife is the one having the real memorial doesn't matter. And that's,
You're wild.
And we can only be upset for so long before we make a joke.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, we gotta put some haha in there.
But
I called Marjorie again, asking her to add an addendum to her event, saying that his actual memorial was going to be here. He told me that Jonah would have wanted it this way, and that if I couldn't appreciate her efforts, I wasn't invited to say goodbye to Jonah. I told her that was fine, seeing I had already said goodbye to Jonah when I held him as he fell into eternal sleep. She hung up. Apparently, she's now spreading information to her mutual friends with Jonah, saying that he was planning on leaving me because I wasn't able to conceive. She also said we had approached her to carry a baby for us. All absolute lies. His cousin sent me a screenshot of a text where she said that Jonah always thought we would have the cutest baby together and that Angry Willow doesn't understand how much he wants children. I'm at a loss. So what to do? Like Dakota is with my joke. I don't care what she says about me, but she's now tarnishing my husband's memory, especially saying that he wanted to divorce. Jonah would never have left me, and anyone that knows him at all knows that we were committed to each other above all else. I need to figure out how to tell this woman to F off without encouraging her to spread more lies. I also want to just forget the whole thing and crawl in bed and never get up again. Aw, please help me. I'm apologizing for not updating sooner. A lot has happened in the last couple of days. For those that offered monetary assistance, Jonah and I were in a stable position financially, and I'm going to be comfortable until I decide to go back to work. Your willingness to help was deeply appreciated. However, I'm truly blown over by your kindness. I took the advice of the majority of comments and called the chapel where Marjorie was planning her service. Oh, let's go. I spoke with the pastor who immediately told me that he had been trying to get in touch with me regarding the service. Apparently, both Jonah and Marjorie had grown up in that church. I'm not religious, and neither was Jonah as an adult. My voicemail has been flooded, so it's definitely plausible that I overlooked his call. He immediately expressed how sorry he was to hear of Jonah's loss. Aw. And he said he had received my contact info from Jonah's great aunt, who still attends there. He said he was surprised when Marjorie asked to have a service for Jonah, but she had claimed that Jonah and I were separated and I didn't want to be involved. He said he had been trying to follow up with me, but obviously that didn't happen. He was very apologetic and said that we could cancel the service or move forward in any way that felt right to me.
W pastor.
He said he knew that the church members would appreciate the service since many of them remembered Jonah as a boy, but obviously Marjorie would no longer have a role. I agreed that the service could go forward. He called to speak with Marjorie after our conversation and informed her that she was no longer welcome to participate in the organization of the service after her behavior. He wouldn't tell me all what she said, but says she was distraught and he recommended some mental health and spiritual services to her that he hopes she accepts. Dude, I know that this woman cussed him out and he was like, no need to worry about what she said. The Lord's going to help her in time, but just, it's all, I got it. We're figured it out.
Yeah.
Dude, W.
Yeah.
She apparently apologized for lying and asked to speak with me, but I declined. I feel bad if she's truly contrite. I just have too much on my plate right now. We had 2 beautiful services for my husband. The first one is at his hometown church, and then the non-religious one that I had planned. Everyone that came wanted to honor Jonah, but that's all that really mattered. I was told a dozen stories about him that I had never heard before, and I laughed so hard I cried, then cried some more. Oh, my cousin was on the outlook for Marjorie, and I honestly didn't think about her the whole weekend. She turned up for the first service, and the pastor ended up speaking with her, unbeknownst to me. My cousin says she was sympathetic but firm and told her that her presence there would be inappropriate. Surprisingly, she left without a fuss. I'm not sure the situation is entirely resolved, but I got to lay my husband to rest in the way he deserved, and that's the most important thing to me right now. Thanks to everyone for your support. Edit, I debated whether or not to mention this, but this community has been so awesome, I thought I might as well. I realized this weekend that I had missed my period, and I'm usually like clockwork. It couldn't be stress, but I'm going to take a test later. Can't decide if I'm credibly hopeful or absolutely terrified. Edit, not pregnant.
Thank God.
It was a long shot. Thank God. Well, she wanted kids with him.
I know, but like, I don't know.
Thanks for your support. She wanted kids with him. She thought it was a little blessing.
We can do that, but it's like, I don't know.
They were thinking about IVF and stuff. Like they were wanting to have kids.
Yeah.
She seemed kind of naughty about it.
I don't know. It just seems like
I think it would be sweet.
I think you would want, I don't know.
I think she would
It's
want a part
definitely
of him
sweet.
with
The
her.
sentiment is not what I'm concerned about. It's more about the reality of it.
Oh, I think she'd want the kid even if it was hard.
But I think
They seem pretty good though. Update 2. I'm not sure if anyone will ever remember this post, but I thought I would update since it's been a few months. I haven't been checking my inbox, and I'm sort of amazed I remembered the password at all. Blah, 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 blah. It's been around 5 months since Jonah fell into eternal sleep, and honestly, it feels like I'm waking up and living the same day over and over. I'm in therapy, but the feeling of grief has not subsided whatsoever. Everything reminds me of Jonah, and I still feel like half of me is gone. I'm considering moving out of the country, or at least in a different state. But I also feel like a piece of Jonah is here in the house where we lived. Even worse, Marjorie has not disappeared. I deleted my social media a couple of months ago in an attempt to simplify my life, but my cousin, who knows Marjorie, let me know that she has been recently posting pictures of herself on Facebook with Jonah. Some were from several years ago, but she's saying things like, I still miss my man every day, and I can't wait until Jonah's baby arrives. She's apparently pregnant and claiming that the baby is my husband's. She has also photoshopped his face onto several photos. Some on another shirtless male posting seemingly suggestively with her. The photoshopping is pretty good, but it's obvious it's not my husband's body. People have been saying things like, congratulations, we know you'll be a great mother to Jonah South. Nobody I knew, thankfully. It honestly made me feel sick, and I went and laid in bed pretty much all day. I hate that she's getting to me like this, but I can't stand the thought that she's claiming my husband was unfaithful to me and that people are believing it.
But do these people that you don't know even know that he was your husband? Like, that's the thing. It's like, these are people you don't know. So Marjorie's probably telling them that Jonah was her husband.
Yeah.
And like, who knows?
Happening here? What is happening? Goodness gracious. One bright note, Marjorie's brother, who also knew Jonah, on one of her recent posts, he commented, "What the F, Marjorie? I spoke to Jonah like 2 weeks before he fell into eternal sleep, and he said he was trying for a baby with Kelly. You guys are just friends. This is effed up, and you know it."
Yeah.
The post was deleted a couple of hours. I don't know what to do anymore. I don't have the energy to bottle this woman, but I'm infuriated and hurt by this blatantly disrespectful pack of lies that she's spreading. My cousin called her and asked that she remove the photos, but she apparently said that Angry Willow can go to HE double hockey sticks. She just doesn't want to accept that Jonah wanted a baby with me more, and she couldn't give him one. I'm lost. What can I do about this? It seems like all I can do is sit and watch this crazy woman try to convince Jonah's friends and family that he never loved me, and we got an update, bro.
I don't know. Can she be sued for libel?
I think so.
Can
I
she be prosecuted for false and like morally incriminating or disparaging information being spread about Jonah?
Dude, I hope.
Because it's like, that's not true, and it makes him look like an infidelitous piece of crap guy.
Yeah.
So his family, I don't know if his parents can like post-mortem be like, we're like suing to have this woman like to make it like illegal for her to speak about Jonah.
Have to.
Is slander spoken, right? Or is libel spoken? I can never remember. I always get them mixed up.
Libel spoken. Or sign. I don't know.
Yeah, but regardless, it's like this is damaging information if people believe it.
Yeah. Damaging to Opie's name.
But it's like, other than that, go to bat for yourself. You know, I know you say you're exhausted and you don't want to deal with it. I wouldn't either, but it's like, you'll probably find some level of catharsis to like fire back. I wouldn't become obsessed with it, but like, at least like if you see something that's crazy, be like, that was my husband. You're crazy. You know, anyone who believes this, she's lying.
Update. I just spoke with Marjorie's brother, who called me to tell me that Marjorie is not pregnant.
Of course.
But seems to truly believe that she is. He asked her how far along she is, and she said 5 months, but she is completely flat. He isn't sure if she's lying or if she actually believes she's having a child with my husband. He asked her when they conceived, and she mentioned a day that he knew he had been on vacation. Update 3. A lot has happened since my last update.
A lot? More than this?
Dude, what?
I don't want to know.
What?
Where the police are on their way.
I hope so.
Here come the police, dude. She's going to do something crazy. She's going to like show up at the house, or she's going to break into like their parents' house to like steal like knickknacks or something. She's going to go completely off the deep end.
Dude.
And that's my prediction. But we've got to have cops coming up.
Dude, make it stop. Make it stop.
The only way we can make it stop is if you read.
Dude.
Oh my God.
Update 3. Hopefully this will be the end of the story. Marjorie's brother became very concerned after speaking to me and apparently questioned Marjorie extensively about her behavior. She continued to claim that she was pregnant with Jonah's baby and that they had a lengthy affair, but the details didn't add up. The brother knew Jonah pretty well and was generally aware of his work schedule, etc. She said they were meeting at a hotel at lunchtime 3 days a week, but he knew that Jonah came home for lunch with me every day, stuff like that. He went home late that night to sleep on it. After he went home, Marjorie came over to see me at 3 a.m. She started screaming at me to come outside, saying that I had ruined her relationship with Jonah and how happy they were before me, etc., etc. I called the police and her brother, who both arrived at the same time. She pushed the police officer who tried to ask her what's going on and was immediately arrested.
Yeah, that's a bad move. They'll do that to you. When you push the police officer, they will push you to the ground and arrest you. And that just goes to show how psychotic she truly is right now. She immediately started fighting a police officer. She's almost as psychotic as Riley.
I feel bad for her, brother. But he just apologized to me repeatedly. Marjorie yelled explicitives and tried to demand special treatment because the police were apparently hurting her baby by keeping her in the car. I gave a statement and they left. By the way, please don't leave us. What you got to do, go to your favorite podcast platform. Apple, Spotify, iHeart. Search up OKSTORYTIME. OK Storytime. And there we will keep you present with all of the freaking stories we have available. Go check it out. We have a little bit left. Not exactly sure what happened after, but her brother says she is now under psychiatric evaluation and is apparently struggling with a mental disorder that wouldn't name. She has apparently not been taking her meds in 2 years. I didn't ask for details, but it seems she's going to get some help. I'm not pressing for any sort of charges. Her brother also links me to this post on social media where he made it very clear that Marjorie has been having some difficulties and absolutely none of what she said about Jonah is true. I'm glad to see this seems to be over, but I've decided I need a fresh start no matter. I'm looking for a job out of state, and I'll be doing my best to leave my life with Jonah behind. Thank you all for your help and encouragement. Wow. Girl, hopefully you get your life. You're good. But wow, let's go. Okay.
My boyfriend destroyed a sentimental item from my deceased sister. I'm devastated.
Sounds like you need a new boyfriend.
Yeah. You mean your ex-boyfriend?
Yeah.
Didn't mean for this to get so long, but it seems it has. Thank you in advance for reading. Me, 24, female. Significant other, 27, male, whose name will be Eugene. My sister, female, deceased for 2 years, Carrie. By the way, this comes from user Candle Throwaway 1, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. So, here's some background about my sister. 2 years ago, my sister was in a fatal car accident. She was riding with a friend to the mall, the friend's parent was driving, and a teenage boy plowed through a red light while texting on his phone and hit the car my sister, Carrie, was in. Trigger warning, we're having descriptions of a fatal car accident right at the top of this story. Carrie was unalived instantly, and her friend June was in a coma for 3 weeks before her parents took her off of life support. When Carrie passed, I was devastated and angry and just not in a good place. Carrie and I had been extremely close. Despite a 7-year age gap between us, we enjoyed a lot of the same shows. We went to concerts together. We volunteered together. And I took it upon myself to guide Carrie like any big sister would do. Our parents were extremely busy with work most days, and Carrie and I would often cook together and do crafts when we weren't too busy with schoolwork. Carrie wanted to be a NICU nurse when she grew up, and I helped her find a volunteer position at a local hospital to help her gain some experience being around patients. In short, Carrie was my sister and best friend, and when she passed, I was a mess. The last craft Carrie and I made together was a set of candles. We bought the wax at a local craft store, and we both made each other a candle and decorated the jar it was in. That was the day before she passed away. At her funeral, Carrie was buried with the candle I made her.
Dang, stuff.
The candle Carrie made me sits on my desk next to my favorite picture of her and I together at the beach. Or it did until last week. Here's some background about my boyfriend. I met my boyfriend about 1.5 years ago, about 6 months after Carrie passed. I wasn't looking for a relationship. I was still grieving my sister's passing, but Eugene came along and it was love at first sight. He was extremely supportive, let me cry when I needed to, didn't push me into getting over grieving or anything. He was extremely gentlemanly about everything and very, very patient. After 6 months of seeing each other pretty regularly, we made it official. Eugene came into my life at a very low point, and he has always been very respectful of sentiments I keep from my sister, never asking me to take them down and always giving me space when I needed to cry. Eugene, along with most, if not all of my friends and family, know about Carrie's candle. There was a point after she passed away where I would take the candle with me everywhere out of fear that someone might light it or steal it or who knows what. Point is that candle was and still is a very important part of my life and something that my sister made for me and me alone.
Makes sense.
Yeah, totally fair. 100% fair. When Eugene and I moved in together about 4 months ago, I packed away most of the reminders of my sister and put out the candle and picture on my desk. I feel that this was a huge step because when I'd lived just by myself, I had pictures everywhere and a few knickknacks lying around from my sister. I wanted to make Eugene and I's home our home with just a small part of my sister there. Eugene understood and was very supportive.
All right.
This,
Checks out.
this better be... I don't even have words yet. Okay, here we go. The issue. Last week, we had a massive winter storm that knocked out power.
No.
Oh, ooh.
Buddy, this is not a shoes are meant to be worn type scenario, okay?
It's a candle. The candle needs to serve its purpose.
I swear to God, dude. We didn't have power for 3 days. The power was knocked out at Eugene and I's house while I was at work, which did not lose power. Eugene texted me that he was going to light some candles and try to get a generator so we could have some form of power, or at least be able to charge our phones and use lights, etc. Now, we probably have 30 plus candles in our house. I'm a huge fan of sales, and when Bath & Body Works has a candle sale, I like to stock up and get a range of scents. We have candles scattered all over our house. In the room where my desk is, there are no candles aside from the one Carrie made me. None at all, and there never has been. This room is also downstairs where Eugene doesn't spend a lot of his time. His desk is upstairs. When I arrived home from work last week, I noticed a bunch of candles burning in our living room, safely, always monitored, and not near anything that could ignite. One of these candles was the candle that Carrie had made me. No! I burst into tears. And when Eugene heard me crying, he came out from the bedroom where he was lighting more candles and asked what was wrong. I was a wreck and couldn't get any words out. When he tried to calm me down, I shoved past him and locked myself in the room where my desk was and just cried. Don't know how he could be so He knew, and I thought he understood how sentimental the candle was and how much I cherished having a candle that my now deceased sister had spent time making with me just a day before she passed. I haven't been able to speak to Eugene since it happened, Tuesday of last week. He has tried to explain why he did it, because he needed candles to be able to see.
Yep, shoes are meant to be worn. Called it, dude. That's why we stock up. That's why we go to Bath & Body Works every 2 weeks and stock up on candles.
Guys, you do the winter sale. It's buy 3, get 2.
But I just can't wrap my head around it. He hadn't gotten into the large candle stash I have upstairs right by the living room where Carrie's candle was, but went downstairs out of the way to grab the most sentimental, cherished item I have. The candle was burning most of the day while I was at work and is now melted and pretty much gone. I do still have the jar it was in, but I can't look at it without bursting into tears. Reddit, what do I do? Eugene says that it was an accident, but I just don't believe that, and you shouldn't, because that is nonsense. The solution here is you break up with Eugene, because either it's an accident and he's the dumbest person you could possibly be with, or it wasn't an accident and he's the cruelest person you could possibly be with.
I guarantee you, he's like, I don't want to light those single wick or the 3-wick candles you got from Bath & Body because they make my head hurt because there's too many scents in the house. So I went for that one specific candle that's not scented.
He said he was getting around to lighting the candle surplus we have upstairs, but just hadn't gotten there yet after being home for 6 hours alone with no power. I'm heartbroken and feel like this is a major slap in the face. I feel disrespected. I feel like he disrespected my sister, and I just don't know what to do. I don't feel like I can forgive him for this. Can or should I try to work past this?
Low key, if you really want this to work out, what I would do is probably like go to a counselor. Try and work this out, see what this is, understand everyone's emotions, get this out. It's a very sentimental thing. But if you want to work it out, that's the route. If you don't want to work it out, be with yourself for a little bit more, break up with him. Then it makes me think like, okay, if I get married to this dude, what other stuff he's going to do?
Comment 1. This may be the wrong idea, and it may not help, but as a sentimental crafter, I have a thought. First, I'm so sorry about the candle. From what you said about your boyfriend, I think he just wasn't thinking. Might not have even occurred to him to remember that candles are consumable and the wax would melt completely away. On to the next step, maybe a idea. It is so clear that you're still grieving over the loss of your sister. You still have the jar. On her birthday or the anniversary of her passing, if that feels right, make a new candle in the jar. Pick her favorite color or something. When you make the candle, pour in all of your love for her along with the wax. Focus on that love when you're pouring. Think of the new candle as containing all of that love. Think of it now as something you made together. She made the vessel and you made the love. Just a thought, maybe cheesy and but maybe not. OP says, I actually teared up at work reading this. I never thought to make a new candle. I really appreciate the idea and will definitely think about it. She made the vessel, you made the love. That really got me. I am not over losing her because she was the one constant happy in my life, and it's been hard. I will definitely consider a new candle to show my love for her. Reply, maybe skip the wick this time so something like this, whether accidental or intentional, won't happen again. And in reply, I actually think she should keep the wick and consider using this candle to light on her sister's birthday and the anniversary of her passing. When the candle burns down, create another one in the container. I commemorate both my parents this way, lighting candles and drinking a toast. I think it would be super cool to be able to do it with a candle that they had helped create. And comment 2, has he apologized sincerely or just blown it off? The magnitude of his remorse should be your guide in how to take this. If he was just an absent-minded dolt, yeah, a mistake. But a more deliberate action would have him showing little to no remorse. OP says he actually has not apologized,
What?
but instead tried to defend his actions by saying he needed the candle for light and then moved on to saying it was an accident. But thinking back, I don't think he's apologized for it at all.
Ooh,
So,
now we're going back.
Throw him, cast him into the fire.
Yeah. Speaking of fire, look at that. No return. It's 95%.
Dang.
It's over, dude. And even if you are an absent-minded dolt, I don't want to date you
Yeah.
because that's a level of absent-minded doltery that can't condone.
Yeah, don't put that. Don't.
Reply says, the other part that bothers me is that he actually hasn't given you an explanation. It was an accident isn't an explanation. How did it happen? I think until he actually explains it to you, you aren't going to be able to get over it because you will always believe he did it on purpose, which is what I believe right now, personally. Here's what I would try. If you can't speak to him in person, text him, email him, whatever. Eugene, it is unfathomable to me how you could possibly have burned my sister's candle on accident. There were a million other candles in the house, but only one on my desk. You knew the candle on my desk was my sister's and that it was extremely precious to me. If this was an accident, please explain how it happened. If it wasn't, then why did you do it? The only reason for him to do this on purpose would be to help you get over your sister's passing. That's literally the only reason I could think of, and even that makes no sense. We have a third comment. This may be an off-base theory, but you met this guy 6 months after her passing, while you were still grieving, and he was extremely supportive. Is it possible he had some sort of savior complex where he came in to help a grieving woman past her sorrows? Then, when 2 years later you still kept the candle on your desk, he was upset you hadn't moved past it as he saw fit. Like if he moved in solely because you were sad and grieving and thus a project for him, then felt like the candle meant he was not finished yet, so he lights it, which he thinks will force you to fully move past the event, which, haha, fat chance. It just makes no sense why he goes downstairs out of his way to get and light Carrie's candle. Exactly. A power outage is not a freak out emergency. I have been in many. It goes out, you glare at your now dark computer screen, wait for it to come back on quickly. If it doesn't and it happens at night or grows dark, you go get some candles and flashlights. Nothing makes you panic during a power outage. There's no reason to forget the sentimental candles' value. If anything, they're pretty boring. There were more candles on the main level for him to light. I don't know. My suggestion about his motives and treating you as a project might be wrong, just tossing out an idea, but I don't see how this was an accident. He had no reason to go downstairs, then move Carrie's candle upstairs. None. He wasn't even using it to light the room he was in. That was intentional. And there is an update.
So we should have an investigation go out.
Yeah, let's get the police involved. No, just break up with him.
Well, I mean,
What are we doing?
Probably should look in more into
It's not
it.
an accident. I guarantee you, this is exactly what he thought. You ready? This is going to make her get over it, and it's going to be fine. And she's going to thank me later. He lit that candle, thinking that he was being some sort of savior, God complex, whatever. She gets home, immediately breaks down. So he goes, oh, I've made a mistake. I must now say it was an accident. That's the hill I'll on. He'll never admit it now because he knows how wrong he was, but that's exactly why he did it.
Yeah, everyone's
Yikes.
saying it's weaponized incompetence, and he's going to just do it again. Again, like we confirmed.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's get into the update. My original post was the day before Thanksgiving. Eugene and I had planned to spend Thanksgiving with my parents, but that did not end up happening. On my way home from work, I stopped at a local craft store to pick up supplies to make a new memorial candle for Carrie. Thank you to the user who suggested this amazing, heartfelt idea. My parents and I spend a day remembering Carrie and making a new candle using some of the wax from the original candle. I also ended up purchasing a locket and having some of the remaining wax from the candle put inside and the locket welded shut by a friend.
That's so sweet.
That is
I love
sweet.
that.
So on the evening of my post, I got home and Eugene said he wanted to talk. I agreed that we needed to clear the air before Thanksgiving, so we sat in the living room and started to talk. I was not ready for what he told me. A few commenters from my original post seemed to hit the nail on the head in a way. Eugene told me that when we first met, he was extremely turned on by the fact that I was essentially a damsel in distress. I just lost my sister recently. I was in a massive depression. I wasn't myself. And that turned him on both spicily and in a protective way. I'm a yuck that yum, dude. What are you doing?
Yeah.
That's
Second that.
That's like something you go to therapy to figure out. Over the past few months, I've started to become more myself. I got promoted at my job. I've joined a cooking class and have gone out more. And I've definitely moved away from being a damsel in distress in the eyes of Eugene. He went on to explain that he burned the candle in hopes that it would throw me back into that phase because that is the only time he felt he was attracted to me. That's worse than anything I could have possibly guessed. Oh, dude, I'm burying you. Are you serious?
Oh, that is
Buried.
crazy.
They're going to have to find you if I'm in this
That's
position.
crazy, dude. Wow, that's a new one. I have to sleep tonight.
Yeah,
Dang.
when you realize that about yourself, you shouldn't go, all right, I figured out my kink. You need to
Yeah.
go, I need to go unpack at therapy and find a more appropriate and healthy vehicle of attraction.
Two things must have happened. One, thought of the idea of like, how do I get back with her? Power outage happened. Boom. He figured it out. Or two, he made the power outage happen.
Yeah, didn't happen at
Probably.
work.
While you were not at work, while you were at home and your girlfriend was at home.
Dang, dude.
Hmm.
So when I prodded for more information, he told me that everyone prior to me that he had dated had either just experienced a loss or was in need of rescuing. Eugene told me he was no longer attracted to me. He dreaded having Spicy sleep with me because he could no longer be the hero that was rescuing me, which is what turned him on in the first place. He didn't like to go in public with me because I had started to put myself together more, like not just wearing a t-shirt and jeans like when I was depressed. And that attracted the stares of other men that he saw as a threat, taking away his damsel in distress. Eugene had a whole laundry list of things he hated doing now because I wasn't in a funk anymore. I told him if that was the case, then we needed to break up. He agreed and said he would go stay with a friend until he could make new living arrangements. My name is the only one on our house, and I told him I would give him 60 days to vacate the house, which he agreed was fair. And by the way, I think it'd be fair if you listen to full episodes with stories like this. And you do that by going to Apple Podcasts or iHeartRadio or Spotify or wherever you listen to podcasts. You search OK Storytime, and there you will find all of the stories we have ever told. There's 1,200 hours of them. So go ahead and take a little listen to that. We have a little bit more story left. Riley?
Dude, I'm just glad you got this out of your life, this thing holding you down, and you can already see how beneficial it is not having it in your life. Wow. I did not know people like this existed. I knew there were bad people. I knew there were horrible people, but this is just like,
There's some disgusting people.
This
It's like
is-
a
I've never even
sick
thought-
twisted.
I've never even thought this could ever be a possibility.
Over the past few weeks, I've spent a lot of time with my parents and with close friends. I don't really feel like I've been dumped or broken up with someone. I just feel like me, which is good because you didn't really get dumped or break up with someone. You left a creature.
You did.
Carrie's candle sits on my desk where the original was, and I wear the locket every day. Thank you, Reddit, for listening. I appreciate it more than you know. And that, I believe, is the end of that story.
My mother won't stop competing with my husband, but he's deceased. I think you lost that one, girl. My husband, Charlie, was the love of my life. We were together for 8 years, married for 5 of those years. He was the man I was going to spend the rest of my life with. He was one of the sweetest people I've ever known, and he loved and supported me through everything. We had plans to have kids and start a family. By the way, this comes from Kuka, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to r/OKStorytime subreddit. So, 2 years ago, he was diagnosed with a terminal illness. He passed away last April. That's terrible. That was the hardest thing I've ever had to go through. I don't feel like I'll ever be able to be with anyone again. I still love him more than anything, and I think I always will. It's been very hard for me. But I've been going to therapy and grief counseling, so I'm doing okay. My mother has moved in with me this year to help me with the bills, groceries, etc. I was very hesitant to have her move in with me, but I needed the financial help, and I thought that having her around might be comforting and better than being alone. The first few weeks were fine. We talked about normal things, and Charlie didn't really come up unless I was talking about a happy or funny memory. Then slowly, my mom started to mention him more and more. At first, she asked why I still had pictures of him hung up around the house.
What? Because he existed.
Because that was the love of OP's life. And also, it's not that you ever have to get rid of pictures, but it's also been like not that long. I told her that I liked having the pictures around because they reminded me of him in a positive way. She started asking if I still loved him, and I said yes. Your mom's crazy. Recently, she's been talking about him a lot and in a fairly cruel way. She'll say things like, he probably wouldn't have been able to take care of you and your kids, or he wasn't that great of a guy. I've called her out and asked her to stop multiple times, and she initially apologizes, but then goes right back to talking about him. What she was saying really upset me, and to be honest, pissed me the F off. A few days ago, I found one of my favorite pictures of Charlie. It was actually one of our wedding photos with the frame smashed and the photo ripped up. I confronted my mom about it, and she said she did it. I asked her why she would do something like that, and she said he's passed away. What about me? I'm here with you right now. What if I die? I'm just trying to help you move on, sweetheart. I was pissed off. I don't understand how she could do something so mean and then make my husband's death about her. I yelled at her and said some not so nice things to her. Guess what she did? Turned it right back on me and played the victim. I was just trying to help you move on. How could you say such mean things to me? Oh, woe is me. I think the next step is to kick her out of my home, but I want some outside opinions before I make any decisions. I'm angry and not thinking clearly, so I'd like some advice on what I should do next. Am I overreacting? Should I give her another chance? What do you think? Because we got an update.
Does the mom live with her?
It seems that OP's mom moved in with her post her husband passing to kind of help her out with like financials and stuff, and is now, I guess, using that as a way to, say like, oh, well, you owe me. Like, you should have more pictures of me in your house.
I mean, I don't know if I would go to kicking her out just yet, but definitely, like, I would let myself be mad at her for a while and, like, maybe not talk to her that much.
Yeah. I don't know if you have to necessarily be like, you have to get out of my house, but I think you could say, I don't know if us living together is working, because I'm still kind of in this really emotional state and trying to work through that. And I don't think that your methods are very effective. And I want you in my life and you're important, but there is no competition between you and my deceased husband, and you're making one.
Absolutely. Or just like trying to explain, like, or set some ground rules, like, you are living under my roof, so you can't control like what pictures I put up. If you want me to put up more pictures of you, if that's what this is about, then like, sure, whatever. But like, you cannot rip up a picture of my deceased husband.
Yeah, the only thing I worry about is if she stays, if she gotta try this again.
The craziest thing is she already won. Mom's alive.
Yeah, you get to spend time with your daughter. I don't understand why you're trying to, one up her deceased husband.
Exactly.
But there is an update. First off, I want to thank everyone for the advice and condolences. I think it's important to add that my mother has always been like this, just never to this extent. This is a new low for her. Growing up, she would often twist things around to make them about her. The neighbor's cat died. It's about her. Your father lost a job. Oh, how terrible for me. This isn't anything new. I'm a fairly small person, 5'3", and she's considerably bigger than I am, and someone mentioned that it's possible she could get physically harmful with me in the near future, which really scared me. I don't know if she'd ever resort to physical violence, but the possibility is there, and the thought alone is causing me a lot of distress. When I think about it, it doesn't seem too far-fetched, especially if I do something to make her angry. I was desperate for financial help and for company, so I made the mistake of letting her live with me. I've decided to serve her an eviction notice and stay out of her way until she's gone. I've gathered up all my possessions related to Charlie and have put them somewhere safe. I'm going to contact my wedding photographer and see if I can get another copy of the photo my mother destroyed. I won't tolerate her destroying my memories of Charlie or tainting my memories of him with her crappy behavior. I don't want to leave my house because this is the home I shared most of my memories with Charlie, and it's my effing house. I'm not going to be chased out of my own home by my mother. Instead, I've been looking for a new roommate to help with the bills. I want to thank the people that reassured me that I should take my time and grieve in my way. It hasn't even been a year since Charlie passed away. I know now that it's okay if it takes me a long time to process the grief. It's okay that I still love him and will for the rest of my life. I'm not under any obligation to forget or replace him. He was my husband, life partner, and best friend. I will remember him and love him until the day I pass away. Thank you for all your help. I'm going to go through some of your responses and respond to them personally. The support you've all provided is wonderful and it means a lot to me. And there is a second update. Yeah, I mean, you don't ever have to stop thinking about your husband.
That's not going to be something that's just going to like go away in a year.
Definitely not anytime soon.
Someone that you're going to love and miss for the rest of your life.
And that's okay. That's not like a problem that should be fixed.
Right. Moving on doesn't mean forgetting.
But there is a second update. I officially sat my mother down and told her that she was no longer welcome in my home and she will have to leave within 30 days. I did this about an hour or two ago, but didn't feel like writing an update or edit immediately. I replied to some other comments and messages because, as you've probably expected, the conversation did not go well and it left me pretty emotionally bruised. She got angry and said some incredibly hurtful things to me. She said, "You should just get over Charlie already and focus on what you have. You have me. I dropped everything to come help you. Now you're being an unappreciative witch and dwelling on an a-hole. Blah, 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 blah. Hurtful crap. Blah, blah, blah. Feel bad for me. Blah, 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 blah. Terrible things about Charlie. Blah, blah. Terrible things about me. Blah."
Oh my gosh.
That was a lot of blah, blah.
Too much blah blah. Getting out of there.
Yeah, I mean, kind of expected that this is how she would react to you kicking her out.
Right.
I think that very fair way of you doing, like you gave her the 30 days. You didn't just say, get your crap and move.
Yeah.
And she just doesn't seem like a very pleasant person.
Yeah, this is not going to change OP's mind at all. This is just making her more like strong in her decision. So mission failed.
Mission failed. She's just gonna want to get you out there sooner.
Exactly.
I sat there for a minute in silence because I was just so shocked and appalled at what she was saying to me and what she was saying about Charlie. I got very, very angry. I said, "You're a selfish, disgusting piece of crap. I can't believe you're my mother. How dare you disrespect Charlie, me, and my home? How dare you? I'm not going to get over him. I loved and still love him more than anything. I love him more than I love you. If you're going to wait around for me to forget about and stop loving Charlie, then sorry. You'll be waiting forever. He was none of those horrible, nasty things you just said. He was the kindest, gentlest, and most supportive person in my life. He loved me and cared about my feelings, which is more than I can say about you. I'm still grieving. I will grieve as long as I want. You're awful. Truly, absolutely, 100% awful. Get out of my house."
Boom.
Good on you, OP.
That was a great response.
Good on you.
Yeah, good for you for sure.
But you know what would be good for you guys? Listening to full episodes of stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search for Poker Storytime.
Do it.
It's good for you.
It's so good for you.
10 out of 10 doctors recommend.
Oh, yeah.
But there's a little bit left to the story. Do you have any final thoughts?
I am so glad that she's standing up for herself and not just dealing with this behavior. I feel like we said, we probably would have gone to not kicking out right away. But if this is something that she's always been doing, obviously OP knows her mom more than we do, then I don't think this is like a bad decision.
No, and again, she's still giving her those 30 days.
Very polite of her.
But there's a little bit more to the story. She yelled at me more, but I don't even remember what she was saying. She got up and left the house. I'm not sure where she went, but she'll have to come back to get her stuff. So I'm getting prepared for that. I'm not sure how to describe how I'm feeling right now, but it's a mixture of relief and feeling upset. I went through with it, and she's finally going to be out of here soon. I have my friend on standby in case I need a crash at his place. And that is the end of that story.
All right.
I can't believe you would say that to your own daughter.
But sounds like OP is dealing with it properly. Taking out the trash.
I'm dating my late husband's best friend. I don't know how to tell my in-laws.
That's messy.
That's real messy. But my husband, Steve, passed away in an accident 4 years ago. Our daughter, Anna, was 8 months old, and I still have a close relationship with his family. Wow. I love them and want our daughter to know them and her father through them. By the way, this comes from Throw Away. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. So I had a difficult time after Steve passed away. Having his family and his best friend Mark in my life were crucial to getting me through the first couple of years after he passed away. Mark and I became very close after Steve passed and eventually started dating. Our relationship grew bit by bit, but it has gotten serious enough that it's no longer practical or comfortable for me to hide it from Steve's family. Yeah, I mean, once it gets to that point,
Yeah.
Hoo-wee. Oh man. Mark and my daughter are very close. He's become a father figure to her. Our relationship has reached a point where I would need to enlist Anna's silence to continue hiding it from Steve's family. Yeah, and you don't want to have kids. Yeah.
You don't want to like make your kids a complicated.
Yeah, make your kids lie. You don't want to make your kids lie.
No.
That's not good. Plus things have gotten pretty serious. Mark has not ever wanted to hide our relationship, but went along at my insistence. He's also fairly close to Steve's family. When I first asked him to keep our relationship hidden from Steve's family, I did it for a number of reasons. I wanted to make sure that my feelings for Mark were in no way about mourning Steve. I wanted to continue to present Mark as a friend in front of my daughter, not wanting to approach the topic of dating until I was sure of my feelings and the future of our relationship. And also, I wanted to avoid the judgment that may come from being in a relationship with Steve's best friend. Those are all super reasonable things. As time went on, I continued to force the secrecy because I felt very uncomfortable with explaining our relationship to Steve's family.
But I think this is just like a slippery slope. It's like, yeah, they might react badly, but better get it over now.
You have to live your truth.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Steve's not going to go away. They're going to find out eventually.
Yeah.
And why, play all of the not the mind games, but play all of the games to keep it all a secret and get everyone else involved in the secret, then just say it.
Yeah, and I feel her on the part of like specifically I want to make sure that my feelings are like are real, but it seems like at this point we've definitely reached that.
I mean, like, no one wants to be a secret.
Yeah.
Like obviously you guys were doing it you had your reasons, but yeah. A relationship is never going to be able to thrive the way that you want it until you are living your truth.
Yeah. You can't keep it in a box and expect it to grow, ladies and gentlemen. But Opie says Steve's mom has made many comments over the years that amount to her feeling that me remaining single for so long is evidence that I'm a good mom and that I loved her son. Ooh, I see you. I don't want her opinion of me to change or to have that impact Anna's relationship with her grandparents and uncle. Now, Mark is basically sick of hiding our relationship.
Yeah.
He thinks that my hesitance to move forward in our relationship is tied to not wanting Steve's family to know that we're together. This is partially true, and I agree that it's time to let Steve's family know, but I'm still anxious about it, partially because I still don't want to be judged or viewed in a negative way, and also because I'm realizing that my insistence on secrecy has caused a lot of arguments and tension between Mark and I, which...
The thing is, the longer it's a secret, the more likely that this is going to end.
Ooh, it's like an inverse thing where it's like,
well, it's a
more time
self-fulfilling
secret.
prophecy.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, oh, well, I don't wanna stay tell anyone if it's not gonna be real.
Well,
so
now
it's
going to be a secret forever because it's not going to exist.
Yeah.
Ha-ha!
Mm-hmm.
Problem solved.
Yeah.
Just kidding. I'm asking for some pointers, scripts, any advice on how to raise a topic with Steve's family. Dude, scripts, wow. Whole Hollywood movie over
like,
here.
please just tell me exactly what to say.
Yeah. I really have no idea what they may say or how they will react. We are going to a Memorial Day barbecue at Steve's parents' house, and I'd feel a lot more comfortable if I had planned some way of approaching the topic. Thanks. And we have an edit, but really quick, not that we'll do a whole script, but Sophia, I'm curious, what would be your approach to sharing this information?
Yeah. So, okay. And I just want to like double check the facts. So OP has kids with a deceased partner, Steve. One child with Steve.
Yep.
Who is now passed away.
Yep.
She still has contact with obviously Steve's family because,
Absolutely.
And now there is Mike.
Mark.
Oh, Mark. Sorry.
The best friend.
The best friend of Steve.
Yes.
Okay. I think you go to Steve's family and you say like, hey, I didn't really know how to tell you guys. I wanted to be respectful, but you've probably noticed that I've been hanging a lot, or like, around a lot with Mark. And we've kind of, over the course of this time, of me healing and stuff have found solace in each other.
Yeah.
And found comfort. And while I still, have a lot of love for Steve, and that will never go away, and a lot of love for you guys, I just wanted to let you know that I've been in this relationship with Mark. And you just be honest.
There you go. Just be. I'm
Literally just
a big
honesty.
fan of like OP was also saying, like, I'm afraid that it'll affect our relationship. Like, I feel like you can be open with that too. Like, hey, I didn't want to. I feel like it might ruffle feathers. Or you might think
scared?
I was scared.
Mhm.
Like, I feel like if you just you want a script, read them the story.
Yeah, read
You know
what
what I mean?
Said. You
Like-
you know your feelings more than we do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or can we write a better script?
I'm doing it! Almost there! Now let's see how it looks so far.
Yeah,
For
I could
your
probably
own
fix
feelings.
it up.
Yeah.
But I mean, at the end of the day, you cannot control how they respond. The only thing that you can control is your words and your actions. And if you want a healthy relationship, it cannot be grounded on secrecy.
Totally agreed.
Or if you don't, just keep it a secret.
Yeah, there we go. If you want an unhealthy relationship, keep it secret forever.
Lock 'em
Toss
all.
that key in a river.
But we have an edit. We're going to see what happens. Edit. I'd appreciate help with wording and exactly what to say with Steve's family. Thanks.
so
More on the
funny.
script. And then the update. Bad news first. Mark and I went ahead with the plan that I mentioned in the comments of my first post. Mark met up with Steve's brother, Nick, and I made plans to meet Steve's mom for a late breakfast. On Saturday morning, Mark told me that things with Nick did not go well. Uh-oh.
You can't control that. It sucks.
control it.
Can't control it.
Can't control it.
You
Gotta
haven't
live in
done
your
anything
truth.
wrong. They're going to
Mhm.
be upset. And, maybe they'll come around later.
Gotta live your truth. I was surprised because I didn't think Nick would care much about Mark and me dating. Nick and Steve weren't actually that close. The brother Nick is 2 years younger than Steve and Mark. Growing up, Steve and Mark teased him a lot and basically treated him like a little pest. That dynamic changed over the years, and Mark is close to him, but they aren't anywhere as near as close as Mark and Steve were. Mark said he was pretty straightforward in telling Nick that we've been dating. Apparently, Nick was confused and thought that Mark was asking for his permission and told him that he didn't approve.
He's like, ooh,
Ooh.
you missed your window, bud.
He's like,
Oops, I kind of been dating her for like a year already. So like,
sorry.
oops.
And for context, female 28, male 31.
Noted.
Roger.
Steve is
Okay.
male, or Mark is male 31.
Yeah, Mark is 31.
Yes. I'm not sure how the miscommunication happened, but it probably had to do with the fact that they were drinking. By the time Nick realized that Mark was telling him we were already dating, they'd both exchanged unpleasantries, if you catch my drift. Mark walked away thinking Nick felt like he was my keeper and that I should be off limits. End result, Nick's mad at both of us, I presume, and Mark is also mad. The good news is that my breakfast with Steve's mom went really well. Okay. Okay. I was super nervous because I already knew that Nick hadn't taken it well, but she and I actually chatted a bit about that too. She had no clue that Mark and I had been seeing each other, so she literally paused and took a long moment to digest it when I told her. She asked some questions about whether anyone else knew, how long, etc., etc. Apparently, Anna talks about Mark a lot, the child,
Yeah.
because Steve's mom said that she knows how much the child Anna likes him from the way she talks about him when she slept over at their house. All in all, the conversation went much better than I could have expected. She was warm, sweet, and welcoming. She even told me that she would tell her husband and assured me that I had made a big deal out of nothing. At the barbecue, Steve's mom was so sweet. She basically took care of everything for us. She told the rest of the family one by one in a way that made me feel like she's proud and that we're together. This is
it works out, man.
This is like the advantages of living in your truth, because
Yeah.
one of two things could happen. This could happen where it's like, hey, we'll make sure you're safe and secure and like help you through this. Or they're like, oh, you're the worst ever. Blah, 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 blah. And then it's like, okay, maybe we need to reassess
Our relationship with
our
them.
relationship and, figure out a new structure that works best
Yeah.
for everybody. Which,
It just
that
shows you who they are.
Yes. And at least then you know how to move.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um,
The truth is revealing.
The truth is revealing. I couldn't have wished for his parents to be sweeter about it, but I felt like Nick, Steve's brother, was avoiding us. He disappeared somewhere during the barbecue, so I went looking for him, hoping to talk to him at his mom's suggestion, and realized he had just left.
I mean, again, can't control it. Maybe
Yeah,
he'll
can't
come
control
around.
it.
Maybe he won't.
Yeah. Been a bit of a baby,
Yeah.
maybe?
I think absolutely there's this kind of just weird energy about your sister-in-law dating someone new
Yeah, it's like you don't.
years after,
Control.
your husband passed or
Yeah.
your brother passed.
Mm-hmm.
It's like obviously you might have a lot of emotions and stuff, but those aren't her problem.
It's not you, bro.
Yeah.
It's
not about
it's
you.
Her. It's not about you, my guy. Now, I'm thinking of trying to chat with him this week. We usually text several times each week, so it wouldn't be odd for me to reach out to him. Mark doesn't think I should, but I actually feel like I'm a lot closer to the brother Nick than Mark is.
Emma Wilkins says maybe Nick was hoping to be with her.
Dude.
If they text like a lot, maybe. Maybe.
Yes.
Good conspiracy theory.
Yes. That is a great Emma Wilkins. That is a great conspiracy theory.
Dured also says, I see you. Nick likes OP.
Yes.
Yeah, we got a couple people saying that in the chat.
That totally went over my head.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that.
No, you guys said it. I was like, I don't know. But then OP said, yeah, and we text a lot every week. And I was like, ooh, maybe.
And
maybe
he wants to be Uncle Dad. We haven't had an Uncle Dad in a while,
They
Sophia.
want to be Uncle Dad.
We need one.
We needed an Uncle Dad.
Come on. So I'm actually starting to feel like I should have been the one to tell Nick instead of Mark. I wasn't close to Nick when Steve was alive. They weren't at all that close. Nick was stationed overseas when Steve passed away. He's only been home for a year now, and I think he's only recently coming to terms with the fact that his brother Steve is gone. We talked a lot on the phone and over text after Steve passed, and I actually got to know Nick more as his own person. I think he's a lot more sensitive than Steve or Mark had ever given him credit for. He's like, oh, he's so sweet. He's so sensitive.
So sweet. He's actually really nice.
Dude.
He's actually really attractive. I'd never noticed that he was as attractive as my husband.
Oh, they're brothers. They like look alike. Oh my God. Since he's been home, he spent a lot more time with my child Anna and me, so I feel like it's my responsibility to make sure that this is all right for him. I'm not sure that I can do that, but I think that if Mark and I dating is making it harder for Nick to come to terms with Steve's passing, I owe it to him to be there for him, to help him understand that I really do think Steve would be okay with this.
It's not about Steve. It's
not
about
about
Nick.
Ooh. But you know what else it's about, Sophia?
What?
It's about the fact that you right now might not have taken your fingers, gone to Spotify, Apple, or iHeart, and typed in OK Storytime.
What?
They haven't done it, Riley. Why not?
Papa,
I thought we had so
Why
much
not?
more left.
you lie.
Do we have
That's
that
a
much left?
Nope.
No.
It's almost over.
No.
It's almost over.
No.
But you know what, Riley? If you want to hear longer stories than this one, you have to go search OK Storytime and listen to all 2,000 episodes.
Do it.
I'm sorry.
Do it.
That's what you have to do.
Do it.
I apologize,
I'm
everyone.
shocked. I'm actually shocked.
He's shocked, man.
But let's get into the very short conclusion of his very short story. So, Mark disagrees. My boyfriend Mark disagrees and thinks that we should leave Nick to get over it on his own. He keeps saying this isn't about Steve, it's about Nick.
Ooh.
Ooh.
I think he knows. I think Mark knows that like Nick is into OP, and he's like, it's not about Steve. Nick's just into you.
Why wouldn't he say it though?
Because he's like, I don't want OP to realize that he's into.
Oh, because if she realizes it,
she'll
does she
leave me? I'm just throwing pasta at a wall.
I mean, listen, some of that pasta might be sticking.
Is it ready?
I'm guessing Nick may be having some issues dealing with the fact that he and Steve weren't as close as he would have liked. I'm guessing that maybe he feels like this is his way of being a good brother. That's why I feel like I can help him with that and let him know that Steve wouldn't require this of him. I'm still not sure. Advice is welcomed and wanted. Thanks.
There's no
again.
updates. We don't
Yeah,
get to find out.
There's none. That happened 9
Come
years ago. No
on.
updates.
What?
Whoa.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Well, okay, yeah, we're left
Frustrating.
high and dry today.
Wow.
That's
Ouch. 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 Ouch.
What do we let's make it, let's write our own ending. What do we think?
I
happened?
think so. She's like,
I'm gonna go talk to Nick, and I'm gonna figure out what's going on.
and so she goes to Nick, and Nick is like, she's like,
Hey, I just wanted you to know Steve wouldn't want you to be upset about this. Like, Steve.
you know, he would want you to move past this. He's like, it's not about Steve. And she's like, what? He's like, it's you. It's always been you. Ever since I saw you the day that Steve brought you home to the family, I was in love with you.
Oh.
But I couldn't say anything because you were with Steve. And then when Steve passed, I had these feelings and I pushed them down because I knew I couldn't be with you. You had just lost your husband, my brother. But then we were getting closer. We were texting. And I thought, maybe there's something there until Mark came to me and said that you guys were together, and I just can't do this anymore. I can't be around you when I love you so much. Scene.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's an Emmy right there. That's an Emmy right there.
Stop.
Also, this is just the farthest reaching conspiracy
sure.
theory. Like you said, I fell in love with you as soon as you walked in the door as my brother's wife.
Yeah.
I knew that I needed to get brother out of the way.
Whoa, murder.
I don't know. But that's
Judas,
it.
No.
That's all we got.
That's all she
our
wrote.
conspiracy theory. But we can't go further than that. We can't stretch it out any longer.
Tragic.
But what we can do is stretch into this next story.
My fiance's late wife's family is obsessed with him. It's becoming a problem.
He's just too cool.
I, 25 female, am getting married to my fiance, 29 male, in May. When we first got together, he told me that he was married from 20 to 22 years old to his high school sweetheart. We met when he was 25, but she passed away from sepsis due to a botched surgery. That is so sad. He didn't cope well and stayed in contact with her family, namely her father and two sisters, 19 and 24. By the way, this comes from Cutoff Family Away. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. So it was a soft spot for me for a while at the beginning because there was so much history they had that we would not have. And it was tough knowing that she was all around him. Red flag. I never told him and decided to work through it on my own, especially with the fact that he would often spend time with her family during our relationship. Her birthday, their anniversary, and the anniversary of her death, he'd spend the day with her family. 3 days? Ugh. It was uncomfortable at first knowing the man I loved was reminiscing about love he had with someone else, but I kept trying to see it from his perspective. But the last couple of years, I've been completely secure in a relationship, and it doesn't bother me much anymore. He proposed this time last year, and I was over the moon. I love this man with all my heart, but I recently learned that he never told them, the family of his girlfriend, that we got engaged. His ex-girlfriend, his dead girlfriend.
That's not good.
I've been trying local coffee shops for the past few months rather than my usual run and tried a new one. His late wife's sister worked there, and other than being awkward, she did a double take of my engagement ring and looked really unhappy. I didn't mention it and left.
See, that's the problem. They were going to find out. He should have been the one to tell them.
My fiance told me that she kept messaging him on social media about it, and I wasn't happy that he kept it a secret. He apologized and was very depleted by it all. He said that he didn't want to hide me, but didn't want to hurt them either, and that both of us were a huge part of his life. And I understand that and let him off the hook slightly. Just told him to be upfront with them from now on. That was that. At least I thought so. A week ago, on Sunday, I got a message from the 24-year-old asking if I was happy with myself, that I would never replace his late wife, and that if she was still alive, he'd choose her over me every time. Yikes!
Come on.
She even said that he only kept me around for my money and something to stick his dong in. I ignored it, but I can't say that it didn't affect me. When you're in my position, all these points are ones you have to work through, and it's not easy to get over those insecurities. It feels like a knock in the teeth when they're used against you. I mentioned it to him, and he comforted me and reassured me. He said he'd set boundaries with her and that I'd never hear from her again. Fine by me.
A big part is on her fiance.
Yeah, for not setting
if
the
he had
boundaries.
communicated earlier, maybe we could have at least mitigated.
That was until I found out my car with the word 4.
Oh.
Sleuths.
Oh.
WHRE. And grave robber.
Whoa. These people need therapy so bad. What did they
Smeared
expect?
in red paint.
I'm sorry, did they expect him to remain celibate for the rest of his life because his partner passed?
Maybe they expected him to run through the family.
Ooh.
You know, like he's got.
Or maybe that's what the sister thought at least.
Oh, the sister that's writing that wanted OP's fiance for herself. Ho! I had saved for this car for a year, and it was expensive, very expensive. The tires were slashed. The windows cracked. I asked the store a few doors down for their CCTV camera footage of that night, but it was blurry and didn't catch much. I did manage to catch half a license plate, though, and the color and make of a car. It was late wife's youngest sister's car.
Yeah, take him to court.
I told him I was filing a police report, and he asked me to hold off until he talked to them first. I told him no, but I would if they paid for the damages and apologized to my face.
I think that's fair.
I think that's fair.
Like, absolutely not. The only way that I'm not filing a police report if they pay for the car.
He set up the meeting for last night, and it did not go well, to say the least. Everyone was shouting. The sisters told me they, yes, both of them, had nothing to be sorry for and that I should leave their family alone, including my fiance and their family. He told them that it wasn't fair to him to be lonely forever and that he'd hoped they'd be supportive of him finding love again. They told him he was betraying late wife and that he never loved her if he'd marry someone else. They didn't have a problem with him having a new girlfriend because he'd realized she was the only one for him and get tired of me.
They're just
She's
so
gone.
deeply traumatized by losing the late wife.
They need therapy so bad.
And now that hadn't happened, they were putting their foot down. So they were hoping he would see the light and be like, oh, I'll just, be with late wife's ghost forever. The youngest told him to tell me that they were right and that he'd never love anyone like late wife. My fiance broke down at the table.
Oh no! Our table! It's broken!
I picked him up and made us leave. I told them I'd be filing a report and suing for damages, and the next time they saw us would be in court. When we got back and calmed down, I gave him an ultimatum. Is this the time to give the ultimatum? It sounds like he was pretty broken up the whole thing.
I need to know what the ultimatum
All right.
is.
Well, the ultimatum. Either he cuts contact or we call off the wedding and go our separate ways. I wasn't going to live my life with this pesterment and someday subject my children to their bullying. He said they would never bully a child, but I shot him down and said he didn't expect any of this either. He called their father, who was fairly chill about it all, but still defending his daughters. They say I shouldn't control him and that I'm horrible for cutting them off. I don't know what to do. I can't live like this, and I don't think I should have to just because we're getting married. And there's an update. Yeah, what do we think about that ultimatum?
We know we don't like ultimatums on this show.
Yeah.
I think what you are asking for
is reasonable.
In general is reasonable. He has to cut them off because they are being
crazy.
I agree that he has to cut him off. I just wonder about the timing of it. It sounded like he was pretty broken from this whole thing. Give him a chance to recover.
Sure.
And then give him the ultimatum like the next day or something. Hey, everyone.
Hi.
Just a mini update to clear some things up before I have a discussion with my fiance either later today or tomorrow about my ultimatum. I didn't sleep at all yesterday or the night before for obvious reasons. There's a ding on my phone at least once an hour from them saying one thing or another, mainly the 19-year-old, and I don't know what they've told people, but I've got messages from one of their uncles and grandparents calling me horrible stuff too, so obviously they've been spreading what's happened this week and twisting it. I haven't blocked them because I want to gain as much evidence as I can for the inevitable case. Regardless of any outcome with my fiance, I will be suing and filing a criminal case for pesterment and vandalism and looking for a restraining order. I just haven't had the mental fortitude to do so yet. I'm hoping my fiance will help me. I haven't spoken to my fiance since the argument at the table, other than to tell him they go or I do. It was my choice to give him a couple of days space to come to terms with everything, and I will contact him when I'm ready. All of this, from the first message till now, has been a week. It's a huge weight to contemplate leaving people you've known for 15 years and who you grew up with. I think it's really cool that OP recognizes that.
Yes.
I feel like that's important to recognize.
She understands that there is a weight here.
Yeah. He did set hard boundaries with the sister from the coffee shop, as I've seen the messages. He said, paraphrasing, you have no right talking to OP at all if this is how you're going to behave. She doesn't deserve this, and you've gone too far. Why are you acting like this? And she responded with more name calling and back and forth. He ended by saying not to message me again and to make sure everyone else does the same. I was happy with that. At this point, only one person in the family had an issue, to my knowledge, so it was silly to have him cut all of them off. It may not be enough for some, but it was enough for me to feel safe and comfortable. For those saying he needs therapy and counseling, he's already getting it.
Good.
That's good. That's good.
Good. Andy, good.
I think they need therapy and counseling.
He's been getting it since before we even started dating, after the incident at work. I don't know about any of their family, though. The first time I had a conversation with any of them was that night. Some people are wondering what late wife passed away of, and it was a botched weight loss surgery where she passed away of sepsis.
That's devastating.
Oh,
That's devastating.
oh,
I wonder, like, maybe like gastro and,
oh.
devastating.
People were wondering if he was somehow the reason behind the surgery, hence the family's insane reaction, but he was not in the slightest. He likes bigger women and wouldn't pressure something like that onto
I feel
her.
like they probably pressure, given
Speaking from
how they
experience.
are.
Yeah. I also want to clear up that I'm not calling the police about the car thing. It was entirely my idea not to file charges in exchange for a face-to-face apology and damage payment. He only wanted me to wait so that he could talk to her to see if she regretted it and then have the father pay the damages. At the time, we thought it was just the 19-year-old that smashed up my car, not both daughters. Neither of us wanted to ruin her life. When I found out it was both of them, it was full steam ahead. Thank you for all your messages, and hopefully I'll have a positive update for you. Tomorrow, there is an edit. There is more updates, but how do we feel about like OP's update here? It seems like I do like the space that she's giving her fiance and recognizing.
I think he's also making a lot of moves
Yep.
to set boundaries. I still think that she should absolutely go ahead with the restraining order and with the police report, because they have refused to at all admit fault.
Yeah,
So.
I don't see a way that you can preserve a relationship with this family.
Nope.
I just don't see it. I chose for him to take this space apart. It's not him being indecisive. I said to take time and that I'd reach out so that his decision is thought out. It's for me. I don't want to be chosen only to be 3 kids down the line and stuck in a resentment-filled marriage. It's for me, please understand that. And we got an update too that we're going to jump straight into. So, well, what a wild morning I've had. My fiance came over bright and early this morning, and I've never been so
Dang tired.
You may want to take a seat because this one's going to be long. You said,
Ooh-wee.
is everyone
I'm sat.
popped and squatted?
Pop squat.
So, first of all, I want to set the record straight here. A lot of people are coming for my fiance over not cutting them off from the get-go, which I don't think is fair. He's a very mild-mannered, calm, and calculating person, and that's who I always knew he was. Nothing has changed. If he had been Rocky Balboa and flipped the cafe, table shouting obscenities, he would not have been the man I fell in love with. We love a mild-mannered man, little Superman, Clark Kent kind of vibe. You know what I'm saying?
No, exactly what you're saying.
He did exactly what I expected him to do and exactly what I was comfortable with. You may be attracted to other things in men and expect other things, and that's awesome, but not me. I love my men mild-mannered, like I like my hot sauce. Mild.
Can't do spicy?
Nope. I like my men mild and my women spicy.
All right. Put that on a shirt, somebody.
Put that on a shirt. Updates. I text him saying I thought it was time to discuss this, and he was back at home not a half hour later. He'd been staying with a friend for a couple of nights, and we had no contact. We sat on a bed to talk because my back is sore from all the packing, and I wasn't going to force myself to sit at a table. Before we even got to talking, he asked if we could cuddle for a minute. It definitely took some weight off, and we were able to talk like a couple and not awkward strangers, regardless of some people's beliefs. We do love each other, and it took me a very long time to feel confident in that fact. Before anyone calls me a doormat again, no, I was still sure I would stick to my ultimatum, and the first thing I asked was if he felt he had enough time to make his decision, and he said he didn't need time. He was very shocked and bewildered at how so much could change in just a week and how everything he knew was shook up, and he couldn't think and went numb. He did apologize that he didn't take a more defensive stance at the cafe, and he doesn't want to make excuses for it. An explanation was that he genuinely didn't expect such a vitriolic response, which I think is understandable.
Absolutely. This is like a family that he's had been close to for, what was it?
15 years.
15 years?
That's a long
time.
That's a long time.
And also probably like trauma bonded.
Yeah. Yeah.
Too.
I mean, because they all love, his late wife so much.
Yeah.
He hid the engagement because he knew they weren't over late wife's death and would be upset at the news. It wasn't like I would feel upset by them not knowing, which I wasn't really. He's known these girls since before they were in double digits, and he would never have thought they were capable of it. It came so far out of left field that he froze. I asked him if there was any possibility that either of them had a thing for him, and he looked very confused and disturbed, which is what we thought. I do think they got a thing for him.
I think so.
Maybe they're fighting over who would get him, I said how I've had people tell me it's not uncommon for siblings to do this after a loss, and he thought on it. Turns out you were right.
Nailed it.
Do you think there's any cheating?
No, I think that we're just going to find out that they had a crush on him. I don't think that he would have cheated on him.
I don't think that he would have cheated.
Well, he said the 24-year-old, about 8 months after late wife's death, made a move and tried to kiss him. He immediately left and told her mother about it. Mother and father are divorced now, but weren't then. Her mother made her see the school counselor and didn't allow her to be alone with him for a while. It was years ago, so he'd forgotten it even happened. I don't know. He said he was sure that wasn't the case now because it had been so long, but I'm not so convinced now that it matters anymore. He opened up his Facebook and gave it to me to read. 24-year-old had been messaging him, which he ignored. She ranged from telling him off to crying and saying how betrayed the family was trying to manipulate him against me, blah, blah, blah. He said he was sure that he needed to put them behind him and had been thinking it on and off since he proposed, but couldn't bring himself to do it. After this week, the fire was lit, and he knew what he had to do.
I know what I have to do, but I don't know if I have the strength to do it.
It was all just abstract until suddenly it was real. He asked me how I've been coping, and I told him. I felt like I'd done everything right, but somehow things turned out worse than if I'd been the jealous type and stopped their contact at the beginning. I tried to be understanding and put in so much effort to be secure in myself in a relationship, only for everything I worked on to be thrown in my face like I was a mistress that was cheating with him. He didn't blink the entire time and just listened.
Oof.
He said he should have been more observant and realized I was struggling with this so that he could help me, but I've always been the strong one. So he neglected to do so, and he'll do better. As I've seen in a few comments now, his parents had him in their late 40s and are retired. He hates to involve them in negativity, but I was stunned when he said he'd been talking to them about this since the first Facebook message. They were very understanding, but his father took a tough love approach. He said the best quote I think I've ever heard. Get your act together before the jig is up.
That's the best quote you've ever heard.
I feel like they're better quotes.
Opie's like, wow, that really spoke to me. I don't think I've ever heard anyone say that before. You're right, Dad. Or
You're
father-in-law.
Right, you're right, Papa. Wise words of wisdom.
I will get my act together before the jig is up.
They offered to come stay for a while and help us move. I don't think that's necessary, but I really appreciate the thought. On the subject of moving, I made it clear that I would not be living in this house any longer than I had to, and he completely agreed. The house of the late wife. His parents offered to find us a place in their state, and he wanted to have more of a support network, and I'm honestly considering it after all this. They're only a state away from my own family, so it would be a lot better off. His job is remote, and I should be able to find work there easily enough. I've been in contact with a friend who's a mechanic, and they've quoted me between $1,000 to $2,000 for the damages, but that's an at-cost estimate as a discount. A few people have said to get a real statement and to shop around. The real cost is between $4,000 and $5,000. And that's just for the noticeable damage. My friend thinks they've done something to the engine, so thank God
Sue them.
I couldn't drive it anywhere.
Freaking sue them.
He thinks I may be entitled to a replacement car altogether. If so, I will be sure to sue for it.
Good.
And that's not going to be cheap. After all the emotional things that were discussed, he mentioned, when would I be comfortable enough to go to the police? I made it clear he was okay with that, or I'd go on my own. He said the surest I've ever seen him, that this is what we needed to be done, and he wasn't going to let them continue. He had done enough to try to shield them, but he wasn't going to let it come at my expense. I'm currently in the bath, frothing in bath bombs.
Love.
But we'll be going to the station as soon as I'm done. He's downstairs right now printing out the new quotes from the mechanics and the messages the 24-year-old sent him over the last couple days so we can go prepared. People have said that nothing will come of it, and you may be right, but I have to try, hoping my local police don't have anything better to do. It's a small town. And to finish, and also by the way, we are far from finished. We're less than halfway through.
Oof.
To finish, I made a point of asking again if he would cut them off or had to go. He did not miss a beat and said that they're no longer going to be part of his life, even if I decided to leave. He did ask for one last meeting to say goodbye to her parents and to put a close on that part of his life and to explain to the girls that this is not my fault, but his decision after seeing how cruel they were capable of being. After that, we would block them on everything and move forward. And I was completely fine with that. What do we think about the closure?
I think that's good.
I think that's good.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think he needs it.
Yeah.
I mean, he already lost his wife in such like a
But I also feel like it's
freak
almost feels like
accident way.
it feels like yes, it could give him closure, but it almost feels like it's closure for the family, so
Sure.
they don't act in weirder ways.
I
you know?
agree. I think he's saying like, hey, don't go over after my wife. This is my decision.
Yeah.
And hopefully that works.
So there we have it. Writing all this out and being able to talk to people about everything has been both helpful and a good distraction from the dumpster fire that was my life, and everything worked out as well as I could have hoped. Again, there's an update after this, so we're going to get into more of the story. We'll see how his meeting goes with them. Is it going to go well? I wonder. I'm sure they won't be very happy about it, but that's not my problem. Thank you all, and I'll update after they've met up, and there is
Let's freaking dive in.
another update. So it seems I've been naughty because I got temporarily banned on here for 3 days. In chat, someone was calling me every derogatory and sexist term imaginable, but I was put in timeout for defending myself. I appealed, but the appeal took the ban time away. Oh well. Sorry, this update is taking so long for reasons stated above. So we drove down to the police station with our block of paperwork and had a couple hours talk. They were so sweet about everything. As some of you expected, they did say I should have come earlier, but they didn't really care because it was only a few days. They said that it often takes people about this amount of time to actually file charges if they weren't in immediate threat or danger. So unless someone was about to throw the old 1-2s, this was par for the course. I handed them everything, and it looks like I've got plenty of evidence. They'll be contacting my insurance on my behalf to get the ball rolling so they can come do a check of the car themselves, and then they can open a claim with me if I want. They're not filing a claim, they're just notifying about the criminal damages. I filed criminal damages for pesterment and vandalism, and they'll notify me with more details about my restraining order this week. My fiance told the police that he was planning on meeting with the late wife's family and asked if that would contradict my case, right? Because he's like, oh, if creating a relationship with them, hurts the ability to get a restraining order or whatever.
Yeah.
And they said, no, we're not married at the time of filing, so legally we're two separate entities in this case or something. So my car is totaled. My mechanic friend, I'm going to call him Tom because I can't keep saying my mechanic friend and his partner at the shop did a full check on my car, and this is the damage they found. So we're getting a full
list of what's going on
Yeah.
with this car.
Shattered windshield, 4 slashed tires, 2 broken windows, paint, obvious I think, unknown substance in the engine oil, and battered bodywork.
They did a number.
They said with this amount of damage, I should just go for a new car. So that's what I'll be doing.
Yeah, make sure they freaking pay for it.
Oh my God, that's so rough. If anyone is curious, it's a Volvo. I'd always wanted one and managed to buy a new one 2 years ago. Either they get me a new car or they'd be set back around $60,000. That's an expensive Volvo. What does a $60,000 Volvo
I'm gonna
look
look
like?
it up right now.
Yeah, that's an expensive Volvo. The amount classifies the vandalism as a felony, so they could be looking at jail time too.
Obviously,
Yeah.
clearly a felony.
My fiance met with the family on Saturday, and Tom sat by the window. I currently live in a one-party state, so as long as my fiance consents, the recording can be used in my case. While it may not be as drama-filled as some of you may want, it was still pretty stressful to see. They met at the same cafe that we did before, and Tom sat a few tables away. Fiance arrived after their father and before them for the best because they managed to have a calm conversation for once. I thought it was going to blow up.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be like, how dare you?
Yeah,
and then they're gonna have a physical fight.
I'm
But
glad that it's chill. Fiance told him how he was feeling, and father-in-law was very understanding, but still trying to minimize. He was saying things like, they miss late wife, and they'll come around. You just need time to come to terms with you moving on. He kept trying to initiate paying for the damages, but fiance wouldn't talk about it until the sisters arrived. It was like butter wouldn't melt with the 24-year-old, but 19 came in like the Tasmanian devil. My fiance didn't acknowledge anyone until it had all settled down, where then he said this would be his last meeting with all of them and they'd be going their separate ways. He turned to the girls and said that he would miss who he thought they were.
That's gotta hit deep.
That's gotta hit.
For someone to say, I miss who I thought you were.
Oh.
That would
That is a line.
See, that's a good line.
That's a good line.
Yeah. When the act is over, the jig is up. That's a bad line. That's just a very
get your act together before the jig of up. Yeah, I've heard that
very
1,000 times.
run of the mill.
But I haven't heard
I miss who I thought you were.
That cuts deep. But the way they could treat people horrified him, especially me. He said that this was all him and they needed to accept that I was not to blame. He even said that it was me who offered the apology in exchange for not filing charges. The 19-year-old then interrupted, asking what charges and that no one was going to charge them for barely touching a car. She was a deer in headlights when he asked what they'd done to the engine oil, and the two looked at each other. Seems they didn't expect me to find out. Cue the groveling. 24-year-old tried to touch his hand and told him he had to stop me pressing charges because this would ruin her and interfere with the 19-year-old's college.
Oh, I should have thought about that.
He said it was too late and the cops should be issuing a warrant soon. It can take a few days. I thought it was an instant thing, but apparently not. This is when their dad got involved and said for everyone to calm down and fix this like adults. Now he wants his girls to be adults. I see. He asked if fiance would convince me to drop the charges in exchange for that apology and he'd pay the damages. When my fiance said it was $60,000, the eyes he gave to those women would shave the hair off a cat. The video wasn't the best, but I swear I could see the color drain from their faces. It may sound awful, but I enjoyed it. Call me what you will. They kept going on about apologizing and that they'd pay, but he just said it was too late and he was done. He tried to be civil, but they were the ones that wouldn't let him go. The 24-year-old actually asked him to set up a meeting with me so they could get to know me and put it all behind us. What crocodile tears, you know?
Too late. Too late.
Too late. Mem J. Gross says, play adult games or win adult prizes.
Yup. Sorry, gotta pay that $60,000 now.
He didn't reply, and after the silence, they piped up again, like, so she won't even meet us? So she's behind all this because she doesn't want us around? We'll see about that. Not using the exact quotes because I don't know if I'm allowed, so not risking it. Things like that. It went on and on. Frankly, it was funny more than harmful, but they didn't incriminate themselves more and more for my pesterment case. And the nail in the coffin was when the 19-year-old said, if we can do that to a car, imagine what else we could do.
Ooh, threat.
How are you talking like a mob boss?
19-year-old girl going,
if we could destroy a car, imagine what we could do to a person.
Imagine if your shoes were filled with some cement.
Imagine that your body was that car.
Imagine that your body was at the bottom of a lake.
Imagine that your body was that Volvo.
We could do a whole lot of damage.
That's the V90 cross country, and MSRP is around $60,000.
Imagine that those slash tires were your arms and the engine oil was your blood. I could do a whole lot of damage.
A whole lot. That, my friends, is both a confession and a threat of bodily harm. My fiance said one loud stop before wishing father-in-law well and telling the girls to not come near me. He then got up and left, and that's where the recording ends because he wouldn't be able to use anything afterwards anyway. As for moving, we're pretty much all packed up and have a truck coming on Friday. We'll be staying with his parents until we find a place. We're looking at buying this time, but might get an RV in the meantime so we're not all stepping on each other. I doubt his parents would mind at all, but this is the last update for a while, I think. I have a wedding to finish, a venue to change, new invites, etc. in less than 2 months to do it all. Send help, but thank you all for being ears and helping me to get through this. It only distracts me from ruminating and digging a huge mental hole. But guess what, Sophia?
What?
You thought it was over.
I thought it was over.
You thought it was done.
I thought it was done.
But there is a fourth update.
But there's a fourth update.
Coming right up, you little buttercups. So strap in. But what do we think about this meeting? So we decided that it was good to have a final send-off. What do you think about how OP responded to the family and how the family responded to him?
Do you mean OP's fiance?
OP's fiance, yeah.
I think that was all brilliant. I think not only was it a final send-off, but it was a way to now get,
Even more evidence.
Evidence.
Mhm.
Yeah. And clearly these people are more than a little crazy.
Yeah.
Yikes, yikes, yikes.
Big
They're
yikes.
threatening bodily harm.
So, update 4. So, it's been a while, guys. Calling the past few months a roller coaster wouldn't quite do it justice. A lot has happened, and I hope I don't leave anything out. Here it goes. So first, we moved away. We're only a couple of towns over from my husband's parents legally, but we kind of just live in their backyard, and my own are a state over. Hallelujah. It's been really great living in our own new RV, and we've been able to take small trips now and then too, which has been a great breather. Took a chunk out of our house savings, but we're not too worried about it. Looking for a house has been fun too. I can't speak to what have happened, but by a stroke of luck, the warrants came through the day before our moving day, and the sisters spent the whole move in police custody. I'm sure it was not as formal as cuffs and interview rooms, but I like to imagine it that way. So we didn't have to deal with any drama that for sure would have happened otherwise. As I said before, we didn't block them because we wanted to keep the line open for more evidence, and boy, was that a good idea. The 19-year-old has only now just stopped sending me messages. Started off with pleading and hoping for a meetup, then went to calling me names and such for trying to ruin her life. But the past few weeks have been pure rage, which has been draining, if entertaining. She says she'll find me, and I'd better watch my back, blah, blah, blah. My printer has been working overtime, as you can imagine. So many receipts to give to my lawyer.
She just keeps digging her own freaking grave.
I know. I mean, hey, OP's case is rock solid.
Rock solid.
So many receipts to give my lawyer. The 24-year-old is still working on my husband, but it reached ahead a few days ago before the wedding. We should have changed the dates, but it just wasn't feasible. We had family from all over that had taken time off work, and we really wanted everyone to be there after what happened. She tried to call my husband over a dozen times and actually left 2 voicemails. She was crying and hyperventilating, saying how she didn't want to lose him. For those of you who said she still had a thing for him, ding dong. My husband listened to the voicemails with me, and she just rambled. It was actually quite sad. She said that she always thought they would be together because they've been through so much together, and it felt right. She blamed him for leading her on and making her fall for him, only to choose someone else that he hardly knew. She even said she felt replaced, which made me uncomfortable. All of this, all the while, degrading him for betraying his late wife by moving on at all. I genuinely do not understand her logic. As for my car, we found out what the unknown substance was. It was antifreeze. The entire engine was written off, and with everything else, my insurance launched a case against them for the cost of a new car. I was expecting $60,000 or so, but Tom, my mechanic friend, said to ask for more based on the current market value and such, and they came back with a new offer, $75,000. It took over a month for the money to hit my account, but I got it. 75 big ones.
Dang, man, you won.
Woo. As for the case, I'm no longer going after them for repayment. My insurance is, so that's one less thing I have to worry about. As far as I know, their father is paying for the legal fees, but I doubt he'll pay back the insurance company for them. There is still a case against them for pesterment and threatening behavior, and I'm suing for the money it took to move away and the emotional stress. My lawyer says they'll be liable, and it's looking like they want to settle. I don't feel great about going for emotional distress, but after everything they've done, it was surely emotionally distressing.
They threatened you multiple times.
The courts are moving slowly, so I don't have anything new on the criminal case yet, other than that they are going to plead guilty. Shouldn't be long now, and it's looking like they're getting probation and mandatory anger management. Not a stint in jail, but oh well. At least they'll both have a record. My husband has been down for a while since we left, but he hasn't wavered in supporting me. Husband.
I think he's allowed to feel a little down.
He's getting back to his old self now that he's settling at work, and he's enjoying being closer to his parents. It's been great for our relationship too, because we all get on so well. And if you want to get on well with us, you should listen to full episodes of stories just like this. Go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast app and search OK Storytime. There's another relevant update. But how are we feeling about where things are ending up?
I think that everyone, OP and her partner have taken all of the right steps here. I think OP's partner felt a little bit of, he was unsure about it. Like he wasn't, he didn't go full steam ahead into cutting them off because they were a really important part of his life.
Yeah, and I understand that. I understand that.
Agree.
But I feel like he's kind of made all the right moves
Since then,
going
yeah.
forward,
Like once he realized, oh, they are a huge problem, let's pump the brakes, let's get them out of my life. He did all of that, you know?
Yeah.
So I think all of the right steps have been made.
All the right steps. What a crazy family to be like to
crazy. To find out that they were this crazy
also
after 15 years.
I could
was
understand
wild.
maybe, you know, the 24-year-old being crazy, but the fact that it's both the 24-year-old and the 19-year-old that are spearheading it, and the dad and the mom are just kind of being like, yeah, kids will be kids.
That's just how it goes.
So it goes. Yeah, a little crazy, but we do got a little bit more of the story. As of the 21st, I'm a married woman. Let's go. We got through the marriage. It was very hectic and stressful to change basically our entire wedding in 2 months, but we did it. And our guests were so understanding. We had to settle for a few things like our cake and catering, but everything else worked out amazingly. Now, we couldn't imagine it any other way. It happened as it was all supposed to. All in all, things are going well. And thanks to everyone who got invested. It's been a tough journey, but I'm just glad to have them out of my life. And that is where this story ends.
Man, oh man.
I mean, I think this is a prime example of what happens when you have a deep familial relationship with someone that needs to end.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard.
Absolutely. I
It's-
mean, like tearing off a leech.
Yeah, exactly. And it's but it's necessary. And sometimes you only see who someone is when they're actually being like emotionally tested, right?
Mhm.
Like maybe like OP's fiance never saw a jealous side of this family, so never was exposed to the crazy that they had. But it is. But I'm like surprised that it took 15 years to get like this.
I know.
Yeah.
15 years, because it seems like they were fine with OP when they were just dating.
Yeah.
But it was the marriage that really triggered them.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think the 24-year-old's like, oh my god, I'm never getting a chance to actually be with him.
Yeah. Miss Woozy says, I hope the 24-year-old can't escape the wedding photos online, so she's constantly reminded what a butt she was.
We have heard a lot of stories of like the siblings basically stepping up and becoming
the partner.
And becoming the partner. And I think at some point we're like, oh, like that's a little odd. But a lot of the comments we actually saw were like grief, basically Kim Roberts' grief does strange things to people, and that's actually more
I think it's gonna be very common,
and
yeah.
maybe more accepted than you might think. Like
It's also
like,
pretty common in like different cultures.
mhm. Where it's like the brother steps up, or like the really good friend steps up. Jelly Bus
Yeah.
says it's expected in
Yeah,
some
like
cultures.
if you've seen Boy and the Heron, that's what happens.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like the whole plot of the movie is that the young boy loses his mom, and then his aunt becomes his mom, and they kind of have to deal with that new relationship.
I never saw that.
It is a good movie if you go into it just for the vibes.
Oh.
Otherwise, it is a very confusing movie. And that is coming from a hardcore Miyazaki fan. It
That's
sucks
the end
too.
of that story.
That's the end.
And this episode.
Yeah.
So if you love us, make sure to subscribe.
We love you
And see you tomorrow.